Incoming transmission. Accessing database, identification acquired. Welcome back, user. Nerd Confessions will begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Nerd Confessions, our safe haven where we discuss our thoughts and opinions on everything nerdy, geeky, techie, and whatever the hell else we want. It's been a week since our last confession, but before we jump right into it, we'd like to remind our listeners that you can follow us on various social media platforms, and you can find our previous episodes and even view bonus content on our website, nerdconfessions.net. I'm Tommy, the moderator for this episode, and I'm joined today by Sohail.
What's going on, guys?
Ellie.
Hi.
And William.
Hello.
In this episode, we'll be talking about the latest nerd news. We'll be discussing Rogue One, a new Star Wars story, and the latest Nintendo game for your phone, Super Mario Run. So, for starters, let's see what everyone's been up to this week. Soil, what have you been up to?
Well, it's been kind of a slow week for me on video game world. Haven't been touching video games very much, but continue to play MLB The Show 2016. I don't know why I'm so addicted to the game. I'm just playing and playing and playing. I just love playing a sports game. I don't know why I'm playing it. Played Headlander a little bit more. And I finally cracked open my PlayStation Worlds VR game, and I played PlayStation Worlds with my wife together, which was really fun. Because she tried the shark thing and she started to scream, which was awesome. What else did I do? I went K1 racing with you guys, and I watched Rogue One and played Super Mario Run. So
Lots of running, huh?
More like jumping. More jumping. And eating cupcakes while I played Super Mario Run.
Really?
Hamburgers, whatever.
How do you confuse cupcakes and hamburgers?
Yeah, same thing.
You know what? I'm not even going to go into this because you're... Ellie.
Hi.
What you been up to this week?
Well, I got sick.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fun. I did the same thing as Sohail, kind of. I've not played that first one, but I played The Last Guardian. I started playing that. Pretty fun. I actually like it.
Is it good?
It challenges my brain.
Was it not that? Was it pretty cheesy?
A little, kind of. No.
Like too cutesy?
No, it's not that cutesy either. It's well balanced. But I would have to give it a further, chance to play it longer and see what I really think.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't played any really other video games except for like Super Mario Run. Yeah, I'm not gonna say much about that. World frustrating game. Like,
we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Have you never? Have you never heard of Flappy Bird?
Oh yeah, I hate that game. I love that game, but I hate that game. That's the same thing with this one. And then I went to K1 Speed with you guys because Tommy, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Tommy.
You're welcome.
Good times.
Tommy took us out to race because he wanted to show us that we suck at driving.
And I beat them.
I raped him in the last
Excuse
race.
Me?
So.
He didn't do nothing.
I got first place last race.
First of all, he got first place last.
I raped you in the butt.
No, I got.
He only won last. He only won the last one because he started bumping me and going crazy at the last lap.
I'm pretty sure I beat you in both of the first two, and in the last one I was too preoccupied with trying to smash Ellie's cart into the wall.
Too preoccupied with losing and taking the butt.
I was just strolling.
I don't know what's going on here, but you need to calm down, sir.
I was always.
You say calm down or something else?
Calm him down. What?
Oh, that's nasty.
Yeah. Okay, guys.
All right, Will, what you been up to?
hey, but I forgot one thing.
What'd you forget?
I watched Rogue One.
Oh shit!
Diego Luna.
Oh god! All right.
I want to watch it 5 more times.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Get to,
what?
Yeah.
So is
Diego Luna. Okay.
His name is Diego the Moon?
Yeah, Luna.
The Luna.
So Diego Moon. Yeah. It's a beautiful last name. Don't you agree?
No. Will, what you been up to this week?
I think something we failed to mention was that we had a kind of a Christmas party, and we played PlayStation VR at that Christmas party. It was kind of fun to see everybody's reactions to VR. PlayStation VR.
We did.
Yeah. It was kind of fun. Like, people were kind of lost, and Others were enjoying
A
themselves.
lot of VR was tried out that day. A lot of VR.
Yeah, they all enjoyed it, but by the end of the day, I noticed a lot of them were getting lazy and just would rather be on their phone than engage in the VR activity.
Yeah.
I watched The Walking Dead. I finished up the season.
Oh, I still need to watch all that.
I thought it was amazing.
I never finished it.
Well, I guess it's not the season. It's
Isn't it
the teaser to the
Mid-season.
the mid-season. So we'll see how it goes. But I thought it was a really good mid-season. I really like what it's building up to. So it'll be exciting when it actually comes back in February. I played Last Guardian. I actually checked out No Man's Sky, and I can report back to you. It's kind of tacked on, but at the same time, it's kind of fun. If it launched with these features, it would be a lot more fun. But as it is right now, it's not justifying me going back and playing it.
I don't understand why base building would be any more fun, because you just find a planet and you build like this little building.
Well, at first I was confused because they have the 3 modes, right? They have creative mode, survival mode, and normal mode.
yeah.
I was like, okay, does that mean I can only create in creative mode? But no, it's like Minecraft, except
yeah.
the only difference is you don't have unlimited resources. You have to collect the resources still when you're on creative mode. You just have all the things you can build unlocked already. But
So you have all the blueprints, but you don't have all the materials to build those
right,
blueprints.
so you have to still get
God,
those.
it reminded me of Ark.
I did jump right into normal mode from my previous save though on PC, and the effects and the way it looks and runs a lot smoother on PC, so that's nice. And I immediately boarded a freighter and bought the freighter.
Mhm.
And what's kind of cool is I can jump to another system and call the freighter in just out of nowhere, and I'll just warps right into where I am.
Do you feel like Han Solo when you do that?
I feel like an admiral or something. I was like,
What's a
like
freighter
calling
give
the fleet in.
Again, I forgot.
You can board it. It's like a mobile space station.
Didn't Han Solo
Okay.
become an admiral towards the end? At one point,
I
like the rebels.
don't think he became an admiral, did he?
No, I don't think he was.
I think
called
it was
Admiral
Lando.
Solo.
I think it was Lando.
Yeah. When
Was
you
it?
become I think admiral like controls a whole fleet.
I think Lando got the big title.
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah, because he was
Oh, yeah.
he was leading the charge in the last movie.
But anyway, No Man's Sky, I mean, they need to continue to work on it. If they have like a bigger release than this with this added onto it, I think it'll be worth playing again. But
has Sean Murray spoken up still?
no,
Still in the
other
dark.
than the patch, no.
Yeah. Wow.
I played Super Mario Run,
Nice.
and I watched Rogue One with the rest of you guys, so a lot of fun. Twice.
2 times is the charm.
Sweet. So for myself, played a lot of Ark. You know, because Ark is life. I like to piss off these guys because they hate it.
What happened to your break on that?
What?
Didn't you say you were going to take a break on that?
Oh yeah, I did because the servers weren't working for like 3 days.
Oh my gosh,
It wouldn't turn on, and we couldn't find it, so I just jumped to another one. That was fine. Fixed my problem. Anyway, so I did that. Saw Rogue One twice with you guys. Liked it a lot more than I thought, especially the second time around. Oh, and I started watching a new anime series called Gundam Orphan Iron Blood or something like that.
Is that exclusive or something?
No, it's well, I was watching it on Crunchyroll, so it was actually pretty good. So I got into it. I'm still in midway of it, but it's pretty good.
I still need to watch Berserk.
I'm usually Berserk is so good. I'm usually a sucker for the Gundam series, though. It's the politics of it is so cool. They play it well. And then, of course, kicking your guys' asses in the go-kart racing, which was pretty fun.
Hey, no. Well, maybe the first 2, but last one I got you.
You didn't get squat.
I got you.
No, you didn't.
I have a piece of paper that tells me otherwise.
My average lap was like 2 seconds faster than you, because the last lap I decided to just
I
smash
still had
my
a better
car.
lap.
No, it doesn't count. I
It
refuse to
says
acknowledge
number
this.
1, Sohail. Number 2, William. Number 3,
Yeah, where was the other 2?
Atomic is in.
Tommy.
Where
And
are the other 2?
There's only one other.
No, where are the other 2 papers?
Oh, the other 2.
Oh, do you mean the ones that I destroyed you guys by a lot? Yeah, those 2.
Destroyed by like
I destroyed you a whole lot.
Like 9.
It's like Vin Diesel said. If it's an hour or a second, doesn't matter. Winning is winning. Or is it an inch or a mile? Whatever the case.
I think it's inch or a mile, but I think both things you said are wrong. Anyway, moving on.
News of the week.
So, getting right into it, Shinji Hirano, former president of Konami Europe, has been poached by Hideo Kojima and is now the president of Kojima Productions.
Whoa.
The largest employee so far out of many to jump ship from Konami after Hideo Kojima left Konami. That's a lot of Konami.
Well, that's interesting.
We know Hideo Kojima had a lot of friends there, and leaving, he's going to want to recruit that talent back into his team. So, but isn't this similar to what happened with Ark?
Well, Ark was different because Ark was one guy. Ark hired people from another game developer, which is illegal, while they're working on a different project. And on their project,
But so didn't somebody leave a different company or something like that?
Yeah, somebody left.
Somebody left and took people with him, and they had a non-compete clause in their paperwork, which means that they can't compete against the other company, which caused a lot of problems.
Hopefully Hideo doesn't have a non-compete clause or something like that.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Unless the guy quit and he's like, I quit, I'm done. Nothing, not actively go hunt people down. Like that guy just said, I quit, I don't want to be here anymore, and then contacted Hideo, I want a job. I don't know. We don't know. I don't know what happened.
We'll see what happens.
It'll be cool. I mean, it's cool if he gets his old team back because the team works really well together, so why not?
Yeah, a lot of the team are like the team that worked on Metal Gear, so I think when he first left, it was just 3 other people with him that left Konami too.
I can't believe that it was just 3. I would think it was like a big group.
And then he built it from there.
It's a small group, but I'm sure all those other people were like, oh my god, what's happening? I'm going to stay with Konami.
Hideo, I want a job. Wow.
He'll let you flip his hair for him.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Might be a good job.
Mm-hmm.
He'll just come up and say, Ellie, flip my hair.
You're gonna flip my hair full time and part time rig.
And you're going to play me in crowds, wear my hair and my glasses, and when people try to take a picture of me, flip your hair. And whatever. Moving on.
I can do that.
Wow. All right. Moving on. 10 Cloverfield Lane director Dan, holy crap, I'm going to butcher this, Trad-Chin-Tick-Burke, is to helm the developing The Secret Life of Houdini. What do you guys think? I'm actually pretty interested in seeing this.
I like Houdini. I like magic stuff, so
do I.
it's going to be great.
Did you guys see the David Blaine? He did the whole TV thing recently with celebrities. Oh, that was so good.
That was recent.
Yeah. It was so good.
Was this on Netflix?
I heard of it. I thought it was
It was all over the place. I saw it on YouTube. For some reason it was there. I was like, all right, click it. And I was like, this is funny shit.
I didn't know that guy was still like active.
Oh, he was like swallowing a frog and shit. It was so crazy. Dave Chappelle's like freaking out, like, what the fuck? It's pretty good. You should see it. Because I think he's above just magic itself, and he gets inspired a lot by Houdini and whatnot, which is kind of the reason I want to see it.
How can he be above just magic itself?
Well, he does more endurance stuff
He's in
now.
another plane.
He doesn't do just magic tricks. He does like
He's on the
things that
same
are
plane
like.
as-
Well, Houdini did a lot of endurance things.
Well, I mean,
too. So he's just all over.
well, I mean,
like,
this
Houdini.
guy held his breath for like what was it, 20 minutes underwater, froze himself for 2 days standing. He did like a whole bunch of shit where like normal people would not be able to do at all.
He's on the same plane as Doctor Strange.
Oh, that
Maybe.
makes sense.
You
now.
never know. Moving on. Amazon is aggressively advertising their Echo line, which, if you haven't seen it yet, it's all over the place, and all over Twitter, showing the type of answers that you will receive with the product when you tweet at Amazon Echo with a hashtag question.
Yeah, it sends you a video with the answer.
That's kind of weird.
That's pretty cool. But at the same time, I think that Amazon's... This is just a personal comment. I think Amazon's advertisements on TV are pretty weak. It's like, oh, this was Alexa. It's like the Zune. Remember Zune? When the Zune was like announced? It's like, yeah, Zune can play music.
At least it's not poop brown.
Well, the Zune is poop brown. But
Let me ask you a question. How often do you use your Amazon?
every day.
Really?
Every day.
I use mine every day.
What do you...
I use it for as soon as I walk into my room, I say Alexa lights 100% because I want to see. As soon as I go to bed, I say Alexa set alarm for this time.
Really?
I have timers on my lights so that I'm not going to turn on in the morning. But yeah, I use it all the time.
I use it every day. I walk from the garage. I go, Alexa, turn on living room lights. And she turns on the living room lights.
Maybe that's the reason, because you guys have like more things attached.
There's we have like
I don't
lights
have any
and stuff.
I don't have any of that. So
I also just bought a switch, like a power switch.
Oh, so yeah, I just walked by Alexa, sup.
Yeah, I whenever I turn on the lights, I only turn on one light because I don't want to turn on all the lights. I'll say, Alexa, turn on living room light 1. She'll turn on light
Yeah, I'm
one.
still at the
Yeah.
The only thing I wish
with your
that
hand stage.
they gave her the ability is to change the tone of the lights, but I know that's a little like more advanced.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think.
Dude, I
she
wish
can
you
do
could
that
turn
yet.
on
Color
my
tone.
like appliances, like turn on my TV
You
and
can.
Xbox
You can.
and log into
She
this.
can.
Like the Switch they had, yeah, you could have that.
Yeah, but it'll just turn on that. But I'm talking like log in into this and get my game ready.
Oh, you're getting too crazy.
That'd be crazy awesome.
What? Are you that lazy?
Yeah.
Damn.
Start my
It's like,
update.
I can't even start. I can't even start.
At that point, it's like,
Hey, I know this is not
Is
coming
it-
from the guys who don't want to hit a light switch.
is it easier
at the
for me
door
to
that
talk
they're
and move
walking
my
through.
tongue around to form words, or is it easier for me just to move my thumbs around?
You're walking through
No,
the
but
door with
my-
the switch right next to
my
the door.
switch is not next to the door.
You're a damn liar.
No, I
I've
promise.
My
seen
switch
your
is not
switch.
next to the door either, and
No,
I
I
like to be
promise
laying
you.
down
Sounds
and
like a
change
construction
lights.
issue.
I don't want to get up.
Yeah, and you can play smooth jazz to your pets.
I guarantee you, there is no switch in my living room for lights. It's kind of weird. There's only one switch and it only turns on one light.
That's all you need, man. That's all you
But
need.
that light is not enough.
Why? What are you doing with all
I
this light?
have the pupils.
You don't read?
I have the pupils of a
You
caterpillar.
scan.
I can't see nothing.
Pupils of a cat?
Can't see
What?
very much.
Okay, anyway, moving on. So the Amazon drone delivery started in the UK. The first drone delivery was done in 13 minutes. It's
Yeah.
actually pretty impressive.
That's pretty cool. I mean, it's not going to come to the U.S. anytime soon because of the FAA.
Yeah,
But-
that and then, smacking into each other.
Well, yeah, but I think that people are really.
Because that's
afraid-
one delivery, right?
Yeah, I from what I saw, it's actually a pretty big drone. It's not.
Yeah, it looked pretty big.
It's not small at all. It's kind of like a small half.
It would have to be in like a backyard that drops shit off.
Yeah, you
Like,
can't.
how big is the drone? Are we talking like size wise? Like
I
want to
I want to say it's the same length, a half of a car length
Holy crap!
and width of a car, but it's not the height of a car. It's like the width and the length, but not the height. The height is like
That's
a quarter of
pretty
the
big.
car, but it's because they put a box on the back and it carries the box.
Like on top of it?
Yeah, and then it drives it, and then
Oh,
when
wow.
it lands, and it opens its doors and it leaves it on the floor and then drives off.
What?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. I thought it was more like it's like holding it below it on like some kind of like those
Like a
arms.
tether.
Like those arms that they use for vending machines and shit, and it would just
like the claw.
the claw, yeah, and it would just float
What?
to your house and it just like let go. And just
That wouldn't be very
truck
secure.
it and shit.
That'd be really dangerous.
Just like flatten the kid out.
Because you got this like wire that's probably going to be made out of metal dangling, and then all of a sudden
slicing through all the
hits a
power lines,
line.
baby.
Yeah, and then you're gonna have all these like electrical
Yeah.
shocks.
Look, I know you don't have power, and I know we killed your kid, but at least you got your Christmas shopping shit in here.
No, yeah, I think it's gonna do well if it can launch. But I think the biggest worry is people are gonna be worried that drones are flying around everywhere because the amount of like Amazon packages my neighborhood alone orders. If I heard a drone every 5 minutes, and drones are loud. They don't seem loud when you watch them on YouTube, but hell yeah, they're loud.
Yeah, they're loud.
So when it's flying over your house, you're just hear like 5 of those going off. You're just gonna be like, "Oh my god, kill me now!"
It's like hearing
I
the
just-
lawnmower.
I just want to know how is it gonna function in the air if there's like
If you don't
10
have if you don't have a
houses.
backyard, you're not gonna be able to get it. That's the truth.
what if you have a backyard with there's shit in it?
If you don't have a backyard, you have to put down a mat for it. It has to be like a target.
Yeah, it's like a target zone.
From what I saw, you had to put like a mat down. It's like a bullseye.
So the people in the Midwest and stuff, no, not an issue. I mean, there's so much land
Yeah,
there.
Midwest, no problem. But people that live in like LA,
Like if you lived
you
in
don't-
Brazil, you're fucked.
Why?
Because aren't they like all on top of each other, like a lot of the homes?
pretty much. But I don't think
Like
they're
in
gonna be
Rio?
launching. They're not gonna be launching in Brazil anyway. The people are gonna shoot those things down.
What is it, the bird?
No, they're not gonna shoot it for the
Oh.
birds. It's like, oh yeah, that looks like that's worth a lot of money. Let me take it down. Let me
Yeah,
take it apart.
probably. I mean, what?
Strip it for parts.
I mean, they might do it now. I
reprogram
mean,
it.
you don't know.
I'd do it. I'm just saying the truth. Reprogram that bitch and put yourself on the back. That's pretty
Dude,
cool.
imagine middle of traffic, just open up your trunk,
They will
float
call
out,
me. They will call me the real Aladdin.
looking like the Silver Surfer.
Just- but the drones.
Your
will
boss
over-
calling you. When you getting to work? Oh, I'm flying in right now. What? Look out your
The
window.
drone-
Just like land.
The drones overheating.
Smoke coming out the back. No, dude, what you do is you like that new Star Wars toy they have, or that they use for drones and shit. Just make like a like a Star Destroyer drone, like a huge one, and just like dress as Darth Vader and just stand on it with your arms crossed and just hover right down and see work.
I think I saw somebody on YouTube recently started talking about drones. Someone on YouTube that had a drone that was carrying them. I don't know if it's true or not. His name like Casey Neistat or something like that.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, the guy looks like he got hit in the face with a frying pan.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, that guy. He had like a video where he was being carried by a drone. Which is
I saw one where it was kind of like, you know, that skateboard they had where I forgot what it's called, where you like stand, a lot of people busting their ass, and Mike Tyson fell on the ground too.
Hoverboard?
Segway?
Yeah, hoverboard thing. But
Oh.
but with the drone, so like you were actually hovering. Some guy was actually hovering in the air and was maneuvering it like a skateboard.
Huh.
I don't know if it was real or not,
Yeah,
but
Lexus one.
it looked pretty fucking cool though.
Well, that's cool.
Anyway, moving on. The Nintendo Switch spec rumors are getting more and more concrete according to sources. The Switch is said to be based on a modified version of the NVIDIA Tegra X1 chip and not the X2 as many were hoping. So this puts the power of the console well below the power of the PS4 or the Xbox One. But you know what? It's interesting because are Nintendo games as power required? Like, for example, for their graphics aren't as like the same level as for say the new God of War or stuff on like Gears of War. It's not like that intense. Like, would they really need that much power anyway? Or maybe is that why they're doing it?
Yeah, probably because they want to keep it compact and thin, right?
Well,
because Mario and Zelda, this is pretty cartoonish. You don't need something that's like looks like a real person walking around.
From how it sounds, because when you take it off its little stand that connects to the TV, it's going to be even less powerful as far as the GPU is concerned. And that's going to be probably like barely about the Wii U when that is, or maybe a little bit above, but not by much. So it's kind of concerning. It's just going to be almost Wii U still.
Yeah, people really. I remember I was.
But did you need it to be more?
No, people want it. If you want,
everybody always wants a graphical leap.
Yeah,
of course they do.
So when you go from, do you remember when you like went and bought your PS2, and then after that you went? Well, maybe you didn't buy a PS2.
I had
you went
a
and bought an Xbox, and then you went and bought your Xbox 360, and you're like, holy crap! It looks like the world has changed.
Yeah,
that's people are expecting from it.
Yeah, a lot of people are looking at this, but look, a lot of people are looking at this and saying, "Oh, damn, that what's connected to my TV is also the same console I can take with me on the go, so I can play Skyrim on my TV, just grab it with me and go on the go." But it's not going to quite be like that. I mean, we had the Vita, which is supposed to give you like console experiences, but it doesn't quite do that. It has really bad joysticks. These have the actually good joysticks, but it's not going to be the actual games that you'd be able to play on PS4 or Xbox One, which is disappointing.
Yeah, so I think there's like a lot of a hubbub about
and third-party support. If they have to downscale the games to actually run on it, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, because people that are building the games are building it to be uniform. It's easier for them to build for like everybody, and then fix or tweak a little bit here and there and give it to the other
Call
console.
of Duty, Grand Theft Auto, never going to come to.
Yeah, then they're going to be stuck with saying, we can't work with you because you're not strong enough.
Yeah.
So that's what happens.
All
it's a little sad, but that's what happens. And a lot of people were pretty pissed when they found out that it wasn't that strong.
It's just rumors, though, so maybe it's not true. Hopefully it is X2, but it sounds like it's going to be X1.
All right, then. Moving on. So the Xbox 360 versions of BioShock 1 and 2 are now backwards compatible on the Xbox One. An interesting feature of the Xbox 360 games are running the game with an unlocked frame rate, which means you could now run the game at nearly 60 frames per second on the Xbox One due to the increase in hardware power. So, do you know what that means, Will?
I'm very excited about it.
Yes, sir.
Higher frames per second.
That's going to make it a whole lot. I wonder if it will be even higher on the Xbox One S.
Maybe a little bit, because it does have a little bit more processing power. But if they're really able to pull all this backward compatibility stuff on the Scorpio when it comes out, it'll definitely be able to hold at least very steady 60 frames, because it does drop a little bit every now and then. Because it is running off an emulator, so it's not able to take advantage of all the hardware. But it's pretty cool that they can actually use these types of features to run the games better. I thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Doesn't beat PC. Doesn't beat playing the remaster for the consoles, but it's kind of cool to have for free if you had the previous versions.
I think it's pretty cool. Moving on. Nintendo reportedly sold 196,000 NES, or as I call it, NES, Classic Edition consoles last month. I didn't even know about it until I saw it, and I was like, damn, I wish I had one of those.
It's such a huge thing right now.
It's like fashionable to buy. It's not even
hugely.
Like, I'm like,
there's so much so everybody's
it's like
getting
the
Raspberry Pis.
Isn't it like the first console?
The same thing.
like, no, it's the first console, but I mean, what they did is they went back and they made it just as powerful as a Wii, right? It's pretty much the same power level.
It's about the same power level as the Wii,
Yeah.
But because that's the quality of the hardware that they are able to put in there cheap.
Yeah.
So it has
I
the
don't
exterior of the original Nintendo.
Yeah. NES.
But the interior is of the upgraded stuff, and you can still play the old games?
Yeah, but listen, you were able to play these emulated games on your computer as an emulator for free.
Yeah, and you can
not saying
do
you
what
should
everybody
do
else
that.
is doing
Yeah.
that doesn't want to wait in line.
I mean, I think it's just fan base, really. I mean, if you're a fan of it.
Or pay the inflated price to get the NES Classic, they get a Raspberry Pi, they put the emulators in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, unless you used to have one, for whatever reason you sold it or it broke.
But yeah, you can play these on your
I mean, if
Wii
I
U,
could have,
you can play
I
them on your
would've
cracked phone, your Android phone. You can play them on your cracked.
Yeah, you can play it on a lot of different
PSP.
things.
A lot of people would put these things on. I've had so many devices, the old PSP, old NES games on. I'm kind of over it.
We had a buddy. We had a buddy of ours that's that waited in line 18 hours to get one
Oh, yeah.
in front of it.
I did that for the original Wii because wasn't sure I wanted to pre-order it, and then it was too late, so I had to do that. But that was like motion controls.
Wait.
What?
You waited 18 hours to get
No, not 18 hours. I waited at starting at 6 in the morning, and then they got the actual unit at 5, and they got the actual unit they opened up for everybody to be sold it at 7. So it wasn't that bad. It was a few hours.
2 hours. No, yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's not that bad.
So somebody waited from 6 p.m. the night of till the next day at 9. I mean,
that's ridiculous.
And
finding out that they had the shipment at this Best Buy when I got the Wii was really bad, though. I had to call multiple times, and one person told me no, and another person, yeah, we're getting a shipment tomorrow.
the thing that was,
and then when I got there was a line. So
the thing that's really bad about it is that each one of these got 20. They got 20 units at the Best Buy he was waiting at for the NES Classics.
It's about the same.
But you got one, right?
He got one, but at the same
There you
time,
go.
when you go on Amazon, you can. Well, listen before you continue.
Is it worth your time to wait 18 hours when you could just?
It's a $60 unit. $60. He waited 18 hours. If you get $10 an hour, that's $180. So in total, if you put it together, that's $180 plus 60. That's $240 that he has put away in his pocket trash.
Yeah, but
he could have went on Amazon. He could have went on.
You don't work 18 hours straight.
It's the same thing with people that
they
wait
work
outside
8
the
hours.
stores during Black Friday. It's just not worth your time. I don't know why they do it.
Amazon.
Well,
if you
isn't it
went to Amazon?
isn't it like an exclusive item?
If you went to eBay, he would have been able to buy it for $120, and he would have been like, "All right, goodbye."
So maybe he wants to not do that.
He wanted to wait in line. Fine, that's fine. But at the same time,
some people love the thrill of it.
It's fun to wait in line for something you're really excited about, especially if there's other people around you that are excited about it. You can talk to them about it.
But this is not going to be an exclusive. This is something they're going to continue making for the next 2 or 3 years.
Unless they change their mind all of a sudden.
I doubt it.
They
Nintendo, if it's a seller,
It's not going to be limited. It's going to.
Nintendo's this we're going to keep selling because it's making us money. So let's keep selling it. So
Speaking of crazy things, the city of Las Vegas is now drawing 100% of its power from renewable energy sources. This is a goal that they've had for about a decade, and it's actually pretty impressive considering the size of all the casinos. So, maybe this is the first marker to kind of push all the other major cities into this direction too now. Since, if Las Vegas can do it,
Yeah.
why not us?
When you're driving from Southern California to Las Vegas, and you're going into the Prim Valley area, that whole area on the left, when you're driving from California to Prim Valley, it's all solar panels, right?
Yeah.
it's a solar tower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's
So it's 800 solar mirrors and a solar tower that has oil in it, and oil heats up and then it makes energy through steam. It's kind of weird. There was a big problem with that a long time ago. But anyway, those are really interesting. But that renewable energy, but there's also wind farms and Palm Springs. There's all kinds of stuff that we're using. And I don't know if you know this, but there's a river underneath Las Vegas Boulevard that goes not a real river, but
Underground.
man-made one that all the sewage from all the hotels flows through.
Ew.
And that's where people kind of, and whenever it rains really hard, that's where it goes real fast through there. So you'll be surprised. Some people, homeless people, live down there, so they kind of get swept that way.
Could you only imagine if we don't have the chemicals that we use today to break down poop?
Oh my God, so much poop everywhere. Ellie, what would you do?
Be a poopy day.
I don't
Sounds
know.
like you're gonna eat it.
I imagine myself like in like industrial time, like London or something, like stepping on poop.
Or
in the
modern day
streets.
India where they're still pooping all
Hey,
over
relax.
the place.
Don't talk crap. Ready to go.
What? Talk crap. Facebook has launched a live 360-degree video feature. It's locked down to only publishers for now, but soon the standard user will be able to use it as well.
Kind of cool. I'm excited to try it out when we can. We have a
Yeah.
360 camera. We liked doing it in 360.
You think
It'd be
you think people
cool.
like all this 360 stuff though?
I think people like 360.
I think more and more it's getting there.
Yeah, well, the first people that got it was National Geographic.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool what they can show, and they showed like footage on Mars.
Yeah, once it's more
360.
common that people be able to watch 360 videos on their PlayStation VR or their Gear VR, whatever they're using right now, it's kind of hard.
I mean,
I would
Once it's easier to do that, I think it'll be more popular.
I think
Yes and no.
360 is not going to be as popular. I think then you think I think 360 is going to be popular. My thing is that I think 360 is a little bit overwhelming. I think it should only be 270.
The
just me.
main drawback is the quality of streaming, because it streams in 1080p for each eye. It looks bad. It looks really bad with the compression. And we need to be able to stream in 4K, and then when that happens, it'll look really awesome.
my biggest
We
concern
hope.
is I don't want to be, for example, laying on my bed, I have my phone, and then seeing a video on Facebook, and now I gotta fucking start turning around in my damn bed just to see what's going
You
on.
don't have
the
to do
other
it
side.
physically. You could just use your finger.
What? You can actually scoot the video over?
Yeah.
It depends on what you're using it, but yeah.
If you're using a phone, you can scoot it over with your finger. If you're using the laptop, you can just click around.
So this whole time,
This whole time you're a crazy person that was spinning around the room.
moving on. Apple is planning on getting an edge over Google, using drones to monitor road changes, signs, and construction, then sending the data to Apple Map users to get the most up-to-date road information. They're also planning on mapping inside Venus's
Venues. I'm gonna map inside your Venus.
I was like, what? They're also planning on mapping inside venues like sports arenas, airports, and malls. So basically, you're gonna know if you got traffic going to the toilets pretty soon. It's what's you're being told.
More and more drones. It's kind of cool.
Drones everywhere. Is this bad though? I mean, cameras in the skies all the time, all over the place, constantly.
What I
Big
could
Brother's
see,
watching.
what I could see Apple doing is using the drones to make like a higher resolution map. You know how like low resolution the satellite map is.
It sounds like a waste of time.
Not just that, but I don't like it. I don't like it. I mean, you're
You remember
enabling
how much they're
enabling finding people easier, stalking easier. You're making a whole lot of
No, I don't think
Problem
that's
for
the only
you.
problem. I just think it's like a waste of time. It's like
like you
live
remember.
traffic.
Do you remember how much they were bragging about like having New York City's buildings mapped to be as tall as they are?
Yeah, and then nobody cared.
You remember that when that Google Maps first came out, they had the guy. There was like a capture of a guy like killing someone or something. It's like the murder caught on Google Maps.
In Google,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Or
Yeah.
was it Google World? I don't know what it was, but it was like a dude like dragging someone off a pier. You're like, what the fuck? It was crazy.
I think it's just it's not going to be anything different. I think Google's and Apple's algorithms for traffic monitoring is already good. You just other users using your app, you track their speed, and then you put that as a traffic or no traffic. But at the end of the day, let's talk about Apple. I'm gonna bring up a story since it's interesting. Apple's MacBook Pro sales are actually down quite a bit,
They deserve it.
and Microsoft Surface sales are up.
They deserve it.
So why do you think that is? That's a good question.
It's probably because it started to degrade and no one knows how the hell to fix it. I mean, I have my MacBook Pro and I can't make that sucker faster without having to completely wipe it, and it sucks. That's why. Plus,
What?
on the Surface, you can like.
You have
do
a
other
MacBook
shit.
Pro that's still good. Your MacBook Pro is still good.
It's
The hardware
pretty-
is outdated now.
It's pretty janky.
It's actually a
But
good.
it's
It's
still
actually a good MacBook Pro. It's one
You can
of the
replace the
series
hard
from
drive. You
good
can
one.
replace the RAM. The only problem is that the processor's
like
outdated.
4 extra.
No,
Yeah, but the new ones, the RAM is soldered in. You can't replace the drive. You can't replace the battery. If anything happens, you're screwed. You have to buy a whole new thing.
a new laptop,
Yeah.
and it's all done for the sake of saving space,
Making it thinner.
Yeah, making it thinner. That's the only reason it's done.
They should come out with a bulky version. I mean, they have so many thin things now in their line.
But that's what
What happened to chunky stuff?
they thought thin is sexier.
They need to stop thinking about it as a fashion statement and start thinking about it again as for productivity.
Yeah, and then I think that's what the Surface. I love that Surface Book. That Surface, whatever it's called.
The Surface Book is the one that's a laptop / tablet.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Uh-huh.
I love how it like disconnects, just like
Yeah, I like how it has a discrete GPU in there, and
Yeah.
you can actually have like extra power when you want it. It's
from
pretty
the from the base with the keyboard.
yeah,
right?
with the keyboard, yeah,
That's a pretty sweet.
and extra battery life.
I wish
That's
that
really neat.
I really wish I had one, but I don't.
Me too.
We need to get you one of those designer pros,
the
don't we?
studio one.
Studios with the weird little silver knob where you
Yeah.
can twist it and you turn up your
Oh
volume.
yeah.
That'd be exciting.
Hideo would hire you in a flash beat.
What?
Hideo Kojima would hire you in a flash if you had that.
Yeah. I can. pretend
Speaking
to do
of sales,
it. What?
the new Pokemon games Sun and Moon have outsold Call of Duty so far this year.
I don't doubt that.
So top selling game.
Call of
Actually.
Duty is that. I think Call of Duty is overplayed now.
I mean,
Well-
I just rebought a Call of Duty.
I saw like there's like a big turnaround on the opinion when they announced this Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Everybody was like, "Oh my god, I don't want to do this Future Warfare stuff."
Yeah, it's
And
too
then,
bad. It's just
Like
too
the
much
attitude
shit.
completely shifted, and everybody wants to play it all of a sudden.
Well, I just bought it because I wanted to get the I forgot which
Modern
one.
Warfare.
Modern Warfare
Yeah,
remastered.
Yeah.
Because that's
I got it too.
that's the good. Yeah, I just got that one, but you have to buy the Infinite War. But I didn't even install it because
Oh,
it looks so bad. I was like, fuck, I'm not installing this garbage.
I heard it's actually pretty good.
I heard it's garbage.
A lot of people are saying the campaign is better than Titanfall 2, and I enjoyed Titanfall 2, but I don't know if it's going to be true.
I mean, this is a point. Like,
For me.
how much more crazy are you gonna get with this? I mean, look at Battlefield. They went backwards. That's a smart move, and it's pretty.
Battlefield is. It feels like Infinity Ward, but what I felt is like slowly Battlefield is gaining back its traction, while Call of Duty, which was the one that was kicking Battlefield's butt, is now losing traction. We'll see what happens near.
Well, I mean,
future. I
the
think
reason
they
is
franchised out too much.
not just that, but I mean, Call of Duty was usually, when people started playing it, it was more of a stress reliever. You just go there, you can just shoot some shit, and you're pretty much we're done. But then Battlefield came out, and it was more of, it was just more of strategy and more, more than just run around shooting.
I think
And people were like, oh, I could kind of do this more realistic.
People went from Battlefield because Call of Duty had good AI. Remember when you'd play with the AI and the AI was actually really good at like running around and helping you and fighting with you, and Battlefield had like stupid AI and then it was just you by yourself pretty much.
Well, Battlefield was all about the multiplayer.
Yeah.
The single player experience was all Call of Duty. If you want a good single player experience and a snappy multiplayer,
No,
that didn't
Call
have
of
to
Duty
do
was
with-
a lot of multiplayer as well. Running around, shooting people,
that was the
respawning.
snappy multiplayer. Where you
That
just
was-
run
that
around
was
and
the
shoot
best.
shit.
Yeah, Battlefield had a
Well,
great
Battlefield, you had to
multiplayer.
work together, and it was all based on your teammates working with you to get inside the tanks and
Very tactical.
take things.
1942 was my favorite. I'll never
I,
forget that.
I,
game.
I actually liked the Vietnam one. Did you ever play that one?
Yes, I played that when I used to fly around the helicopter
I
with
played
music.
that one so much. My favorite map was the one that lady was yelling at you. Do not listen to their propaganda. They are the enemy. She kept talking like that. I don't remember.
I forget her name. I think her name's like something Hanoi.
But she kept talking like over and over, same message.
Yeah,
liked
I
it a
know.
lot.
But do you fly around the my favorite thing was flying around the helicopters and playing "Bird is the Word." And
Yeah,
people would-
yeah.
We get so angry. It's like bird, bird is the word, and people would be like, "Oh my god, this F you!" And even your teammates would shoot you down.
Yeah, that was good times.
Anyway,
But anyway,
moving
Nintendo, best-selling game. Good job.
Exciting, Nintendo. Good job. Keep it going.
Topic of the week: Star Wars Rogue One.
All right, so getting right into the meat of it, we're going to talk about Rogue One. Now, for those of you who haven't seen it, don't worry, we're not going to spoil it. But you should know it is between Episode 3 and Episode 4. It's actually more of before episode 4. So, what do you guys think? You saw it twice, Will.
So my initial thoughts is, when I first watched it, I enjoyed it, but I think that my personal opinion, and I think it's a good movie. Don't get me wrong. There's some characters in there that didn't need to be in there. Like Forrest Whitaker's character.
Oh.
I'm not trying to spoil anything, but I'm just saying he doesn't need to be in there.
Well, I thought it had a lot. I thought each character played a big role in the development of the main character.
He had nothing.
And the main character had a lot of meaning to, it had a lot of meaning to her and how she affected the other characters.
It was a weak character. I'll explain.
The main character?
No.
Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
You didn't really need him to explain the rest. It just like he could have been like, you were raised by somebody.
Yeah. Well, speaking of things that shouldn't really be in there, and it's not really a spoiler, there's like this little creature that can like tell if you're lying or telling the truth, and it makes you crazy by trying to see if you're lying or telling the truth, and it has these little tentacles that wrap around you.
That didn't need to be in
that thing. It was like in there for 5 seconds, and you don't ever see it again. So
the effect was like 5 seconds. It was so stupid.
Yeah, he was fine. So I don't even know what.
No,
I mean, maybe it would explain why he was a little weird, but other than that,
it didn't do anything to him. You didn't know how he was before, so there's nothing there.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving to that, I think the movie was good. I think the build-up was great. I think it has a little bit of a slow build-up, but for people that are not Star Wars fans, they don't understand. But the reason why for the Star Wars slow build-up, is because there's so much stuff to talk about in this movie that people don't understand, so they have to explain it. So there's a lot of explanations there. I was just reading the book that this is based off of. It just came out. I have to look it up again. It's at home. I forgot the name. It was just written recently, and it kind of follows it step per step for the beginning of the movie. But it's really crazy how the movie had a lot of build up, and then towards the middle of the movie, it got a little faster, and the end it just took off. So it's really cool.
Yeah, the ending was amazing. So let me ask you guys, Tommy and Ellie, the main character.
Garbage.
Did you notice like her effect on other characters? Like as the first time I watched the movie, after the movie, I sat down and thought about it. Every character that she came in contact with, she brought the best out of. Like the father,
I really didn't like her. I didn't like her, and I don't agree with you at all.
Really? Like
yeah.
the father, she made it him stop doing what he was doing and change his ways.
No, he didn't.
He went to a farm and no longer wanted to do anything for the Empire.
It had nothing to do with her.
It had everything to do with her. He wanted to settle down with his daughter.
No, he wanted to settle with his family.
Exactly.
Wife.
That's her.
The daughter had nothing. She was like, what, 4? 5?
He did it for her. You did it for your daughter, your family.
No, she didn't influence that.
And Forrest Whitaker, she brought out the best in him. He was all crazy as soon as he saw her. All of a sudden, he actually cares, and he showed her a message and shit.
What are you talking about? No.
Yes.
No, there was not even enough scene time for that to show he cares.
Oh
he just,
my God.
He was like, and then he showed her a clip.
He was like saying, "Oh, you're a liar. So many lies," and then she shows up, and he's like, "Oh, there's lies," and then all of a sudden he's like, "Okay." And he's actually made a sacrifice of himself.
No, that makes no.
Tommy.
Okay, he can't go. Oh, lies, and then I see someone from the past.
Diego Luna. When you first see him, he's following orders and doesn't have the ability to think for himself so much. As soon as he runs into this main character, he changes his ways. Everyone that she runs into, and even when she's at the rebel base, all of a sudden everybody's like wants to fight and they want to band together, and then the action she makes changes everybody's mind. They all band together. So she really became. It wasn't for the actions.
That wasn't the case. The case was that there was a chance of doing something, and that was what changed their minds.
So you think if she wasn't there, if she didn't have any influence,
she inspired nothing.
If she didn't do anything, it would have happened.
She inspired nothing. Let's just put it like that. She inspired nothing.
She gave them hope.
No, she didn't.
So if she wasn't there, would any of this happen?
She just happened to get a message, and
if she wasn't there, Forrest Whitaker would have thought everybody was lying to him and wouldn't done shit. Sohail.
I'm trying to understand why you guys are arguing over this right now.
Sohail, your thoughts on the main character, Jen.
Useless.
My
influencing all the characters around her.
I think she in the I don't want to spoil anything, but her character in the beginning really was nonchalant, no character, no, I don't care about it.
In the very beginning, I mean, there's
but
nothing
then
really to it. But the more as it goes on,
she becomes different, and I think she gets
she
that
changes
from
everybody around
her
her.
pops. I think it comes from her dad. After her dad's conversation.
Well, no, she changes, and everybody else around her changes too. Yeah.
Yeah. So she changes, and then she does do a lot of. She becomes more of a leader, which is great. And you see it.
Big issues in this movie. Number one, the characters are so underdeveloped.
Total different topic now.
No,
We're on characters.
Yeah, it's characters. They're very underdeveloped. There's not a lot of backstory. It's just kind of thrown in your face. These are all people that are supposedly key figures.
Well,
in this movie.
you have to be introduced to them really quick because they're
no.
really
I mean, well, where the fuck did they come from? Like, for example, there's two characters that we end up meeting. And people really kind of gravitate toward them, but you really don't know jack shit about them, other than they're really good friends. That's it.
I don't think it's not a spoiler talking about them because they're in the trailer and everything. So you're talking about the former protectors of the Jedi Temple.
Yeah, the blind guy and the guy with the gun, who are friends, but you never learn anything about them.
See,
that's all you need to know about them. They're former protectors of the Jedi.
He's a protector of that temple.
That's what I'm trying to say.
But here's my issue. What your understanding of this concept is not fully developed. You have to understand that the Jedis have disappeared at this point. There is no Jedis. There's people that want to be protectors of it, but they're not Jedis themselves.
Yeah, I get that. What I'm saying is, like, they need to at least explain why they're here. Why is this dude blind?
They did. They explained why they're there.
They explained that
the Jedi temples were destroyed, and
they're just hanging out.
And they have nowhere else to go, so they just cause trouble.
Everybody
in the city.
knows that watches 4, 5, and 6. Jedi temples were destroyed. Not many Jedi temples.
And whenever you go to when you first go to this planet, the first thing you see is a big, huge Jedi statue on like destroyed and laying in ruins.
So
that's the Jedi temple that was destroyed.
Yeah, we get that, but what else? Like, how do these guys even meet? One's a mercenary, and one's a force user.
The reason why you don't get any development is they don't want attachment. That is the reason.
Man, that's horrible because honestly,
we don't want to go into spoilers, but there's a reason why they don't want an attachment. There's a big reason why.
Yeah, but it would make it more impactful.
It was impactful nonetheless.
You don't think that was impactful?
It was, but it would make it more.
No, I think it was already impactful. I think that people would have been really pissed off.
I don't know. It just, to me, it was stupid. They should have. I felt rushed. I felt absolutely rushed. Like, it was just literally scene jumping. That's all it was.
I felt very fast paced, but I like fast paced, and I thought they did a good job of introducing characters that we'd see for the first time, but still have a fast paced and interesting story.
Yeah, everybody knows.
Like, we all had the Phantom Menace when we were introducing new characters, and it was on a snail's pace throughout the whole movie.
Yeah, but it worked though. Again.
Yeah, so here's the thing. Everybody knows that this movie is in between 3 and 4. Everybody knows that. So the characters in this movie have to be either in 4 or be from 3. Does it make sense?
No.
Yes. If these characters are heroes in this movie,
they don't have to be from 3 or from 4. They could have been.
They could be new characters.
But in that
talking
era,
about 3 and 4, what I thought was cool is they had some tributes for the prequels, and they had some tributes for 4. They have characters show up, which is really cool. Some really cool Easter eggs, some really big surprises. So I mean, it's really cool that they did that.
Okay, I enjoyed that they went into pay some tribute to the old movies, and I enjoyed that they didn't put so much emphasis into the original 3. I mean, the first 3 prequels.
They just have some, but
they had
like
some,
not to the point where everybody would get pissed off.
Very little. There was no Hayden Christensen.
Okay, so let's summarize this then. This film, it wasn't bad. It was very good. It had very good CGI. It had a lot of surprising character show-ups. It had a lot of
some
interesting turns of events.
It had some really amusing characters too. I didn't expect to like the droid in the movie that much.
It had a lot of comedy.
Not that much. Not like overpowering though. It was still very dark.
It wasn't sneaky comedy.
It wasn't like Deadpool levels of comedy.
Yeah, but it was sneaky. I would put it that way. Like, you have to catch it. When you did, you're like, hey, that's pretty funny.
It was nowhere near Jar Jar, which is great, and it was nowhere near C-3PO corniness at all.
Yeah. No.
This droid is a lot better than C-3PO as far as corniness.
This movie did have some flaws, and it did have a lot of positives. I definitely liked the direction that they're trying to go with. They're definitely upping the scale. It had a slow start, but it started to get a lot better. It definitely solved an answer that a lot of Star Wars fans.
Well, you're saying it had a slow
wanted to-
start, but it was really fast paced start at the same time.
No,
like scene.
The movie started off with like 4 jumps, I think, in the first
Yeah, it was
10,
like jump,
15 minutes.
Yeah.
But the slow start, I get what you're saying. What you wanted is more character development. That's why you think it's a slow start.
Yeah, because
But you're
I
not
don't know.
going to get it. I'm just going to tell you the
I know,
truth. You're
and
not
it's
gonna get it in
because
kind of
this
story.
whole thing is to solve a question that a lot of Star Wars fans have had for
the
years.
book that I'm reading about this, I haven't been putting this, but I am reading Catalyst, which this movie is based off of. Star Wars Catalyst. It's the book. So it's kind of loosely based off of it. So there's stuff in it that you're like, oh, okay, that's cool. But at the end of the day, this movie, I think, was great for what it is. It is a supplementary story to Star Wars. It's not supposed to be... It feels like it's a appendix. Like they added it into the Star Wars and said, here you go. Here's a whole bunch of information you deserve to have, but we're just going to add it now. It is not really
it's like
great.
the Clone Wars.
The cartoons?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's actually...
And the Rebels.
There's actually a lot...
It's a lot better than the Clone Wars.
There's a lot of Rebels and Clone Wars stuff in this movie, too. If you didn't hear it, it's too hard to find.
Speaking of that, by the way, just as a quick side note, I heard rumors that they're actually going to start doing a series, like a cartoon series of the Old Republic.
Yeah, I heard that too, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen. If that
I hope
happens,
so,
that'll
because
be
holy
great.
crap, I'm waiting for that shit.
One person we haven't heard anything from is Ellie.
Oh, hi. Yeah. I've just been taking everything and completely disagree with Tommy.
Ooh.
Completely.
As usual.
Again, I feel like this is one of those movies where it's not based off of characters, it's based off events. Such as, there's always like the debate over the main character trying to overcome something, or nature versus humans, or humans versus nature, or whatever it is. But in this case, it's like events. The main subject here is events. And I liked it. I don't know. I like the main characters. Well, the 2 main characters, Jen and Captain, was it Cassian?
Cassian. Yeah.
Those 2, I they drove the story. And that's all you really need. Everyone else is just extras and like adds more content, but it's not necessary to know what they're there for.
Okay, so what do you guys rate this? What do you guys rate this Star Wars appendix story? So, El, we'll start with you.
I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10.
Sweet. Ellie?
I give it a 9 out of 10.
Oh, God damn. William?
9.5 out of 10.
Jesus. I give this an 8 out of 10, to be quite honest.
Pretty harsh for an 8, though. You're pretty harsh.
I don't know. I mean, I
felt like with your harshness, it would probably be like a 7 or 6.
No, because it did have some good elements to it.
Yeah, exactly. From the way you're talking about it, or maybe just for argument's sake.
No, there are some things that pissed me off, but there's some things that were cool. Like, one of the things that this shows that is really kind of does well is that it shows you the gritty side of the whole nature of what Star Wars is. It's not so much of
I did like how gritty it was.
I have so much to say about stuff that I really want to.
And so what we're gonna do is at the end, if you guys want to, we're gonna have a little discussion of the spoilers of the Star Wars, but with spoilers, and you can actually catch it towards the end of the podcast. So fast forward all the way to the end, right before we cut off, and then you can hear our arguments collide. Because honestly, you cannot discuss and argue this topic without spoiling some stuff, because or else your arguments won't make sense. Therefore, if you want some spoilers, if you've already seen it, you want to hear what our thoughts are after seeing it, fast forward.
After the listener mail.
Yep.
Sorry, after the listener confessions, we'll have it.
Yes, we will. So stay tuned. It's actually, I have a lot of crazy stuff to talk about, so you got to listen. If you watch the movie and you want me to talk, I'm talking about a lot of craziness. Moving on.
So opening weekend for Rogue One was 155 million domestic, which is pretty impressive, I think, even though it's not main storyline Star Wars, it didn't hit that rate. It was just a little bit behind Dark Knight, which was 158 million.
How did it compare to Force Awakens?
This is a Star Wars story, not the main Star Wars line. So I think also Disney made $7 billion this year, which is the first studio to make $7 billion, which is ridiculous. But $7 billion for Disney. Go Disney. Keep going. Making those Marvel movies. They're making a bunch of cash. And the Star Wars movies. Could be a big, big pickup.
Opening weekend. Force Awakens. 247 million. Big difference.
So almost 100 million different.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like they did less?
They did 100 million.
100 million less.
Almost 100 million less. So 90, 89.
Yeah. Well, this is the main storyline, so I hope that it hasn't lost its luster and that episode 8 is going to be as good, if not better, than Force Awakens premiere.
We'll see what happens on episode. My thing is that if episode 8 gets a sales decrease or money decrease, it's because people are tired of Star Wars.
Yeah, we'll see yearly Star Wars.
Yeah. That's what happens because every year you're putting out a Star Wars movie.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Topic of the week number 2, Super Mario Run.
I hate the game.
Why?
It's so frustrating.
Why is it so frustrating?
It's like how we
You said frustrating. I
yeah.
You said buzz draining.
Buzz rating, yeah. Like how we talked before. What was that bird one?
Yeah. Angry Birds.
No.
Flappy Bird.
Tommy
Yeah,
said
Flappy Bird.
Birds.
It's like Flappy Bird where you get addicted and you want to try to do well, but then you hate it. That's how I feel.
Well, I think that's kind of what the game's got to its detriment right now. You're looking at the ratings. It's got 2.5 stars out of 5 on the App Store.
People are frustrated is the message.
Well, yeah, you got a lot of 5 stars saying this is great. I'm really happy to have Mario on my phone. And then you have some people. They're pissed off about 2 things. They're pissed off that you can't control where you run. I don't know why they didn't know that, because that's like the main thing about this game. And they're pissed off that there's a paywall. So you get the first 3 levels free, and then you have to pay for the rest. So I think they could have maybe kind of gotten rid of that negative perception by having the free version and saying like this is the paid version. I don't know why people got the impression it's a free game.
I know. I mean, there's a lot of levels, and I expected.
No, I
it
didn't
to
think
be.
that people were. I thought it was supposed to be.
I'm reading like most of the complaints here that are like 1 star are you have to pay for this game. It's not free.
Well, the other issue is that it's like $10.
Yeah,
That's the
but
thing that people are pissed
the
off
quality.
about. For this kind of game, they're saying it should be at the most, like $1. And I understand,
Well, it's not like Angry Birds. It's not that low quality of a game. And you're getting a full-on Mario experience. The only thing is, the main difference in the experience is you can't go back. So it's all about playing the level well that one run.
Yeah, so they're comparing it. They're comparing it to Flappy Bird. That's why they think it should be $1 or whatever.
But in Flappy Bird, it's just the same shit over again. You actually have a lot of variety. You have to learn different stuff. You have different areas you have to collect. There's a lot more variety.
They could have made the running.
I think they did a good job.
They could have made it so you could run back or forth without
I think you hit on the head when you said it's like Flappy Bird because it's one directional and stuff like that. But I think they did that on purpose because they are trying to harp on that same thing that did really well recently, which is Mario Level Creator.
Well, no, hey, look, like Sonic is on iPhone right now. Tommy, would you play Sonic on your iPhone?
Yes.
You think that, but try the controls. It sucks. It's terrible. People tried making controllers for it, so you have the D-pad and everything, but nobody ever wants to get it. It's too much of a hassle to bring with you.
Yeah.
So those kinds of games always fail because of the controls. So what they're looking to do, how can we get a Mario experience on a phone and make it actually work without having to bring any peripherals or anything with the phone? And this is what they came up with. You just have one finger, you tap the phone. That's all there is to it.
I remember this.
And I think that it turned out pretty well. You can go different directions.
You can kind of go back by using that bubble thing.
You can go different directions by, sometimes they'll have things that make you go backwards. You can jump on walls. There's tricks to it. I mean, you can't obviously just like backtrack your whole thing, but it's a lot more complicated, and there's a lot of depth to it.
I think for an app game, it's a great looking app game.
Yeah, it looks really good too.
Well built. It's not like you're gonna get a Wii U experience of Mario, but you're getting something that's pretty comparable to what he looked like on Nintendo Wii.
Yeah.
And you're getting that experience. Good looking graphics. The game is fun. You're you can't knock the game because of the not going backwards, but you got to see that Nintendo put a lot of work in this game. So
the production value is there. I think that just justifies the $10 price tag. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe like $5 will be worth it more to people later on down the line.
No, I actually agree that the price range it's right there. I mean, if it was $8.99, maybe it'll be slightly more appealing. But
yeah, I mean, you don't get.
I think it should just be $5.
You only get 6 worlds, and those 6 worlds have 4 levels.
Yeah.
So you're not getting like tons of content, but there's a lot of replayability, of course, because you can only play through it once, and then you have different coin placement.
You get 3 different sets.
You get 3 different sets of coin collections, and there's also a multiplayer
level.
There's a multiplayer aspect to this game.
Yeah, the rally,
and you're going against how other people did in a level, and you kind of, if you do better than them, you get toads, which you can use to upgrade like this little area, like a little Farmville kind of area.
Yeah, it's kind of like your own little home base.
Yeah, I'm not kind of into that, and I mean it's okay that it's there, but it's nice that you can play against other people. Then you can try to beat your friend's scores.
It's that makes it competitive, but also it kind of works with your Nintendo login, which is great. And
you can make your Mii the character that's jumping around, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, you can also make Toad be your character. You can make anybody. There's I think 6.
You can unlock Luigi. You can unlock Princess Toadstool.
Yeah, so you get a lot of like replayability with those characters. But I understand why people don't like it. I understand that people don't want to pay $10. Nintendo may have made it a little too expensive. I think $5 would be justified.
Well, maybe because they could have done a better job. Like you saw people complaining about the price point. They could have done a better job explaining that it's a paid game in the front, I guess. I don't know.
Well, what they could do is Nintendo's much smarter than I am. I'm just giving an idea and advice. Is if you're going to sell it at $10, you're going to get like 100 people buying. If you sell it at $5, you're going to get 500 people buying. Drop the price, let more people play your game, and once you do your next game, people are like, all right guys, Nintendo makes a great product, let's buy their game next time.
Yeah, I think once, I don't know, there's some negative backlash to this because of the thing. To be honest, maybe if they didn't make it Mario, it might have been more in their favor, like a Toad Run or something like that.
Yeah, if it was something different, that's what I think gets me off guard. Because
not Mario Run, but Toad Run, and you can make Toad Mario. You can unlock Mario. I don't know. Kind of changed the identity a little bit to where they didn't expect it to be a Super Mario Brother game.
Oh, so you're talking about like they wanted the level? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that would have.
But they were trying to say this game was going to be like a mobile type game, so.
Exactly,
but
apparently not very many people looked into that very hard.
Yeah.
All they see is Super Mario Run. Oh, that's a lot of people are playing that. Let me check it out.
It could be due to some hyping, some poor hyping from somebody. But my favorite thing I've ever seen with this game is Miyamoto was playing the game eating a cupcake. That was really funny. He's like, I can play with this.
He said, I can eat a hamburger while I play with one hand.
And he was saying, I have to eat this whole thing. I was like, yeah, eat the whole thing and play.
Oh, yeah. Are you talking about that video where he ate all those other things? He took like one bite out of something, threw it away, took another bite out of something, and all the while he was playing the game.
And then he had a huge cupcake. He's like, oh, do I
he took a bite out of the cupcake. Yeah. He took a lot of bites out of different things.
From what I'm seeing, the levels are fun. It's fun that you can check your friend's score.
Yeah, you can try to beat your friend's score in the main game, or you can go against them and try to win their toads in the versus game.
But not only that, it's kind of different than a Mario game because Mario usually never jumps over Goombas by doing handstands and flips.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's part of the gameplay of always forward momentum. If you just don't touch it, you'll just vault over the Goombas. If you time it just right on the Goomba, you'll like squish him and get a boost off the top of his head.
Yeah.
So it is a lot different in some ways like that, and it takes some getting used to.
But it's kind of weird to watch, Mario do a handstand and a vault and a flip over a Goomba. It's truth.
I got used to it though. I mean, once you get used to the mechanic, it works pretty well in my opinion. So, from what you played it, Ellie, what would you rate it?
6 out of 10.
Wow, that's pretty low.
Yeah, I mean, I have.
Why don't we do it fair? Why don't you give it a rating out of 5 because that's what iTunes does.
So wouldn't that 6 out of 10 be like a 2.5, which it currently is?
Well, out of 5? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'll give it a solid 3 if that was the case. I mean, I get the game. I understand it. I think it looks nice. It works for people who like that kind of like controlling, but I don't like it. That control, like I don't know. I like going back. That's not what I remember.
You don't like being rushed.
Yeah, like I grew up like always playing like Mario 64. So it's like you're roaming around, you're collecting things, you're killing things, and I can't go back and do it. So it's frustrating me, but I get it. And
Well, it's a whole different type of game, like I said.
I know. Yeah, 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he'll.
If I had to give it a rating for what I'm seeing, I want to give it a 3.5 out of 5. It's not because it's bad.
Variable.
And the reason I'm giving it 3.5 out of 5 is that is really about the pay, because it's
the paywall.
It's the $10 paywall. It's not the game that sucks. It's not that, and I understand what they're trying to do, but it's just that when you're giving people 3 levels to play, and then you have 24 levels beyond that they can't play because they have to pay $10. $10 is a little steep for a game when you're first releasing it, and the demo levels are kind of like less than 2 minutes, I want to say, right?
What it might have been better for them to do is less worlds, little less content, lower price point.
Yeah, maybe just give you a bigger demo where you got to do at least one castle. I mean,
yeah, that's kind of strange. You get 20 minutes of that castle. It was a big tease, big cock tease.
And you're like, oh, here you go. Here's a 20-minute
to defeating Bowser,
and then you don't get anything else. And good luck. You have to pay $10, and $10 is a lot. Honestly, it would have been nicer if you just paid for a pack of levels, and then after $2.99 you get 12 levels.
We're talking about Nintendo though, where they charge $50 on their game 3 years after it's come out.
Yeah, I understand, but Nintendo needs to understand the mobile market is completely different than what their market is.
Yeah.
So, not the mobile gaming market. I meant the mobile telephone game market.
Right.
They're like $2.99 is a high in a price for the okay game.
Right.
On a top level game, like the Blade game where you're fighting with like a sword, that was like $5.99. You're going $10 on a little iPhone game? No. You got to go like $5 max. That's what I think. 3.5 out of 5.
Tommy?
I agree with Soil. 3.5.
I think it at least deserves a solid 4. I think it justified what the reasons why, but I think there are some areas in here that they can easily implement freemium area, like some paid. You have to pay for like.
You mean like
there's like these rally tickets where you have to have so many rally tickets to play against people for the Toads, and there's these other things that you have to get Mario points. So it's potentially you could end up having to pay for those if you want to like get a shortcut.
So like a Destiny type edition.
No, Destiny doesn't.
I think more people were.
It's not for show. It actually gets you somewhere.
More people were hoping for like a legitimate full Mario on a phone. I think that's what it was.
I think that's what the uninformed people wanted. Yeah.
Like I said,
I agree.
How are they going to do that with the control scheme?
No, I agree.
I mean, you look at the original Mario, it's back, forth, jump.
I agree. People wanted. I think what people wanted was people wanted is not just that. I think what people saw when they saw the demo of it, they're like, "Oh, that looks like a Mario game," and then people spread the word. And what he said is, people wanted a Mario game because people love Mario.
Yeah, and it's doable because I mean you have games
like
like Assassin's Creed and shit on there where you're slicing and rolling and all this stuff because the actual buttons are on the screen that you actually would push.
Yeah, those controls.
I think
that's the big thing.
You think Nintendo can make it better?
No,
I don't. I don't.
That's you don't have the tactile feedback of the controller. That's what sucks about touchscreens.
I don't think they could make it better, but I understand what you're coming from. The uninformed person that was looking at it was like, "Yeah, I want a Mario game."
Yeah, I thought that's what it was. You'd run and you'd jump up and down.
And jump back and go do some stuff.
Yeah. And then I was like, whoa.
I understand that has a huge appeal and people really want that.
Yeah.
And the problem is,
it's
that
too much extra shit. I mean,
the problem is the platform.
You can't do it. If you really want a good Mario game, go get yourself a DS.
Or Switch.
Or a Switch. Well, what I meant is like something portable.
But what I was trying to say is if they actually end up making those things purchasable with real money, then it'll kill it for me, and I'll go down to like 2 stars because that's dumb.
Yeah.
But
moving on.
For now, 4 stars, pretty cool.
Listener confessions.
All right, so we got a confession by email by David A. Robertson, and he wrote, I confess to loving technology metaphorically, you understand, as opposed to literally. I, when funds permit, purchase gadgets of both a likely and unlikely nature. I mean, yeah, I buy
it's
weird,
an
kooky stuff.
interesting confession. So he's telling us that he loves technology, but he doesn't love it sexually. That's what I got from that.
What?
Metaphorically loves technology.
Metaphorically is
He's like, I don't literally love it.
I don't
but he
literally
really
love it,
likes
but
it.
I like technology.
I think
He wouldn't
he's-
marry
different
it, but
ways.
he enjoys it.
I think he's
Yeah.
saying that he likes gadgets and gizmos, kind of like you do, and he'll buy like accessories to things, and he likes the whole, oh, there's a new VR headset. Oh, cool! If I have the money for it, I'll buy it.
I hope that's what he's saying.
Well, my problem is I buy
Always.
things even when funds do not permit.
You gotta blow that credit card like Tommy does.
I don't know what you're talking about. The next confession we got was from Wow Zerbrina, who wrote in on Instagram, showing also a picture of a guy hanging upside down.
It's from Dishonored.
Yeah,
game.
from Dishonored. She wrote, I hate when I try to throw dead bodies off of staircases and one of their boots get caught on the railing. Ugh. Hashtag assassin problems. Dishonored Overseer Nerd Confessions.
So I think it's kind of cool that in Dishonored, that kind of thing will happen where it'll actually get cut, stopped by the foot.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool detail. And that's why I thought it was kind of worth having in the podcast, even though it's kind of weird confession. But
it's still something.
It's still interesting. And if you didn't get your confession this week, listen in for next week. You can tweet us on Twitter, message us on Facebook, or even email us at contact@nerdconfessions.net. And, maybe we'll talk about your confession. I mean, we're interested to hear about what you guys like, what your kooky things are into. As far as nerd stuff goes, don't be sending us some weird stuff after hours. Keep that to yourself. But, if you like, certain games, if you like certain games or, things that, even if you have opinions on things.
Hey, and if you
send it our way.
If you send something like a different language, we're going to try. If we don't understand what you're saying, we write it. I mean, honestly, there's been a lot of people following us
you're
on Twitter
encouraging
lately.
them. If they listen, they got to speak some English.
I understand that, but if you're sending me something like we got a lot randomly, we got a lot of Arabic followers. So if you're sending me something in like Arabic, I mean, all power to you. I love you.
Do they know a little bit of Farsi? They could do Farsi.
I don't speak Farsi in Saudi Arabia.
Look, just send it in English and you got it. But if you send another language, you're going to have to go to Google Translate and figure it out on your own.
And then you know how sometimes you go in menus in China and it says like hot chicken, it says fucking chicken. I'm gonna have a hard time because I translated fucking instead of hot. Be a problem.
Question of the week.
Okay, so we are going to be opening presents. It's Christmas time. Let's see what we got.
All right, Tommy, you go first since you're the moderator.
All right. I got a gift from Ellie.
But can I give an introduction to
Sorry, you go ahead.
Yeah,
you
go ahead before you open
Christopher
it.
Columbus.
Sorry.
This is my gift to you guys.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
This is what I think of you guys.
So the gifts
I'm
are
gonna
what we
say.
think about us.
Okay.
Dude, mine's gonna
I'm a little nervous now.
Dude, I hope it sucks.
Why?
Did you need socks?
No, I just hope you give him socks.
So rippy.
Dustcon? Yeah, hard time opening that.
I didn't wrap it that well.
You got a job.
Yeah.
A Jawa.
Jawa.
This is the, isn't this what killed Anakin's mom?
No.
The one that
What? No, that's
the one
the
that
sand
steals-
person. That's a Jawa.
That thing goes, Udeni!
Yeah,
Utini.
because you get a lot of random
OTD.
stuff, and you kind of scavenge sometimes.
I'm trying to remember.
They're those little midgy guys. They're a little small. The ones that sold
The ones that have the glowing
R2D2 and
eyes.
C3PO to Luke.
They have
ones
the
that have
big
Oh my
sound
God.
collars.
My guess is not you because you can't even recognize it.
No, I recognize the face. I just don't remember.
Remember that?
Oh,
yes, there
yes.
you go. The ones that run around the city with the little big ass blasters they have.
Oh
They
yeah,
have
yeah.
blasters,
That's
I think.
just scavenging shit for the sake of
Stealing stuff.
scavenging.
He's like, oh, those Jawas
I
always
like
selling you bad parts.
I like it a lot.
Udeni!
Put it on your head.
Utini, whatever.
Utini. I thought it was Utini.
It's a head accessory.
It's a head
So
accessory.
Yeah.
Basically, it's
And you can
a.
clean your screen on your phone screen with the tummy.
Really?
Just kidding. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
It feels like you
It's
can.
a Tsum
Like, is that the
Tsum.
actual advertised feature?
It's a Tsum Tsum.
It's not an actual advertisement, but it's supposed to be stackable, so you can stack it on your head. Look at that. Cute.
It's like in a blanket.
You should put it on your car.
What?
Like in your car, like on the front of your car. So people.
I want to put it right here
Okay.
so I can always see it.
I guess I'll go next.
Thank you, Ellie.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So Hill's
No,
number
thank
2.
you. Thank you for today. That was an experience. The
You're welcome.
K1 speed.
Look at him copying me.
I thought it was for the presentation of the fans. I got Darth Vader because I'm an asshole.
Yeah.
It looks like Darth Vader if he was a pug.
Yeah.
This is true. This is true.
Hey, you can control people sometimes.
Wow, that's a good reason.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm a knight.
So you got scavenger, like a little vulture bitch. Just kidding. See, that's Darth Vader coming out. I'm sorry.
Man, shut up, Limbless.
What? Limitless?
Joe burned ass face.
I actually like this. Look at this.
I never. I don't know. It looks like a sack from here. Turn it around so I can see the face. There it is.
It's cute.
Overweight Darth Vader. You a sausage.
Typical life.
You
All
a
right.
sausage Vader.
I'm gonna open mine.
Wait, I forgot to explain what this wrapping looks like. It's a white,
Please be a
beautiful dog.
stormtrooper.
It's a stormtrooper.
Because you follow the Darth Lord.
Yeah.
Apparently, Ellie thinks I follow Sohil's orders.
Yeah.
I don't give very many orders, though.
Yeah, because it kills everybody else.
Well, I am missing one of my legs.
So
These things look
mine.
like dogs if they were Star Wars characters. It's so strange.
So Will is a stormtrooper. Soil is Darth Vader. What was mine again?
Jawa.
Jawa.
Actually, that's a pretty good one. Jawa. I would like to be a Jawa.
I am more Jawa. I admit it. It's a good choice. It's a good
I
fit.
know.
So I didn't wrap up.
I thought you were
anything.
gonna give him the Ewok.
Really? I would
Yeah.
have given you the Ewok.
Why? I'm not at all
You
Ewok.
kind of look like Ewok.
Yeah, you do.
What?
That's
You look
not.
I'm
like
taller than
Princess.
you.
It has nothing
I'm
to do
not
with
that
height.
much
It
shorter
has nothing to
than
do with height.
I'm
You're
not
just,
that
just
like
the face.
Just the face.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're like
Just the
teddy
face.
bears,
You
all
like
fluffy.
little fluffy face.
Okay, so I didn't wrap these up, but I got you some things too.
What?
Oh, my.
What? It's double
What?
presents now.
So
Oh.
Ellie,
I feel like a dick. I celebrate Hanukkah.
it's okay.
Is this early Christmas?
Ellie, this is for you.
Oh, how cute!
What did you get, Ellie?
It's an Assassin's Creed 2 Ezio.
Oh my
Ezio,
god!
Ezio.
I almost jumped this table. I almost jumped over
Ellie
this
loves
table.
doing that stuff. Ellie
I
loves doing
almost
this
jumped
stuff.
over this table. And,
She knows who
oh,
Ezio
read.
is.
man, almost
I'm
went
sorry,
to jail.
I'm
Assassin's
sick.
Creed's
I'm
her like
just
Hey,
favorite
don't
game.
even get on her case. You can't read.
Listen, I can read Ezio. Okay, she said Ezio. I was like, she's gonna die.
Ezio. I named.
But he's so happy. But he
does.
murders.
It's
so
great.
cute.
He like reminds me of me.
So Hill, you ready for yours?
Yes, I'm ready.
Here it comes.
What is this?
Is that a plunger?
Talk TP. Pull the paper and hear your message. So when I'm taking a shit, you can record as many times as you like. Great for weddings,
Oh,
Christmas,
he's
birthdays,
gonna
showers.
listen,
Dude, this is going in the office, man.
you know he's gonna troll Allie and the office.
Dude, every time someone spins this, I'm gonna put a fart sound on it. Like, so every time they pull the toilet paper, like, oh, dude, we should put Danny's. Sorry, we should put Danny's. Bob. I'm putting it in the bathroom.
Do it.
Every time you unroll it, bop, bop, bop.
Thank you. I like it up here. Sorry, guys out there. I'm putting my Darth Vader on top. So it's a toilet paper roll with a speaker in it.
That's
Paper
That's
roll
pretty
help.
funny. I don't even know they make that kind of stuff.
You can record a message.
It's a pretty good prank.
But let me say something real quick. On the
Yes.
cover of this thing, it says, somebody recorded, "Susan, will you marry me? Flush once for yes." That is
It's got fucked up.
that's the worst way. That's even worse than freaking text message. Marry me? Will you marry me? It's got to be toilet paper. Marry me? Right. Thank you, Will. It's very great. It's funny.
to keep
Tommy,
Ezio
you ready
in
for
the
yours?
Open it.
I mean, what would happen if I said no?
You're gonna get it anyway.
Oh, well then
I might
ready.
use it on you if that's the case.
That's what the fuck. I'm ready now.
Oh my god.
Oh yes! I needed something to beat somebody with today, so I got a Thor hammer. Oh yes.
I wanted the one that made sounds, but didn't have
It looks big in your hands.
Excuse me.
That's
hands
what
are as big as-
that's what she said.
My hands are as big as yours, and you're taller than me. What does that say
That's
about
what
you?
she said, Ellie.
I said
That just means you got big ass hands.
Goddamn right. Oh yeah. This is nice. I actually really like this.
You can actually probably hit someone that at a fairly decent impact
It actually-
without hurting them.
It actually looks like it's sized for you.
There's
It just said that, Allie.
Listen, there's
Is that why you got him the Jawa?
there's a lot of cautions.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cautions underneath of it, but bring your head over here.
I'm not gonna bring my head over
Is it
there.
Bring your head over
is
here.
it- is
Don't
it
be a
pretty
wimp.
heavy?
Just bring your head. Let me just
Take
have
my
it.
hand.
Is it pretty heavy?
Ow.
Or is it like...
Only Tommy can lift it.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Can I see the top? I
Ow.
want to see the top. It says
Oh, it's in whatever language.
that has some runes.
Yeah, runes.
On the bottom it says, "Caution: Do not hit or swing at breakable objects, people, or animals."
That's the first thing I
So
did.
first
That's the
person,
first thing that you should do with that thing.
That's the first
so-
thing I did.
you don't want to swing at Samuel L. Jackson from Unbreakable. Remember that movie where he's Mr. Glass?
What?
There's a movie with Bruce
Because he
Willis.
might break his limb. He like
Okay.
breaks his bones every 5 seconds.
Oh, it feels so good to hit yourself in the back with.
That's Thor's hammer, not back scratcher.
Is that something you've never seen before, Ellie? Man
just
hitting
gonna,
himself in
like-
the back with a hammer?
Yeah.
Put it on my desk here. There we go.
Love.
Your new
Lovely.
desk accessory.
Maybe not that direction.
How about what did you get for yourself?
A new VR headset. This is gonna be my hammer of judgment. Every time you guys make a stupid comment, it's gonna. I object. Dude, that's like the perfect thing for you. Fucking toilet talker. Oh man.
I
He's
can
gonna
see
troll
this
so
breaking
much.
though,
Oh yeah, of course it is.
because
Can you imagine?
You
You put in the office,
someone, like straight up.
Danny would pull in. What the hell? What? And he just keeps pulling the toilet paper and he's like, "Why is it talking?"
That's all bad.
I've never, dude. Listen, I've never heard of that before. So like, you can scare some people.
I first
like,
when I got
legit.
this, I thought this was a tampon.
Why would it be a... No.
You immediately thought it was a tampon?
'Cause I
Just
saw-
because it's a girl with a like an O face on
I
the
thought
cover?
I said talking tampon.
Oh my god.
TP. Then I forget TP means toilet paper.
Wow.
Hey man, I never lived this life. I didn't know what BM meant
It's okay.
until recently.
BM.
Once again, but thank you.
In what context?
Bowel movement.
Thank you,
Oh.
Tommy, for the interesting experience earlier today, and Soheil, because you took us to Fantastic Beast and spoiled
Oh,
us with
yes.
food.
That was a great... Yes, that's what you gave us. That fantastic dinner. with
Fantastic Beasts and with dinner included.
Yeah.
Everything you can eat.
I munched in some kids' meal mac and cheese.
And I had 2 beers, and I felt bad.
That's fine. Whatever you wanted to get. If you wanted to drink. I felt like Bob that day. Big boss.
Well, thank you everybody, and thank you to all of our listeners.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to everybody, and
Warning. Spoilers for Star Wars Rogue One.
so if you've already, so again, warning, if you haven't seen Star Wars Rogue One yet, we're about to get into spoilers. So if you pause it, go see it, come back and listen, because we're about to get into it and it's gonna get a little hammy.
Little hammy.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right. So there's spoilers. I don't want to give away the story too much. I just want to go
No,
over some
this is
stuff.
absolutely giving everything away. We're going straight ham.
Oh,
This is that kind of spoiler.
So really, I don't want to give away everything. So I just wanted to think. I
Why
want
not?
to go
They've
over.
already
I want
seen
to
it.
go over Easter eggs first. So in this movie, you get a lot of cameos of characters.
You got Bail
R2D2
Organa from
and
the
C-3PO.
prequels. He comes in, and he has a little bounce as he comes into the screen.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, yeah, I'm here. And then as he leaves, he says, I'm going to go back to Alderaan.
Yeah, he goes. Basically, when he leaves, the last time you see him, he says, "I'm gonna go back to Alderaan and get stuff together." So basically, meaning
Meaning he dies on Alderaan.
I'm gonna die with the Death Star blowing my planet up. So that's what happens to him. So there's the him. Then you also get to meet the 2 gangsters that Luke basically meets at the cantina. The guy with the weird nose and the walrus-looking guy.
He doesn't like you.
He doesn't like.
I
him.
don't like you either. I'm a wanted man in 12 systems.
You know the funniest
Yeah,
thing is
you
that
meet that
they
guy.
somehow avoid a like a city destruction, but then yet they can't stop their arm getting chopped off by Luke Skywalker.
They just ran.
That's just like coincidence. The guy's like, yeah, I'm here for a day. I'm leaving tomorrow.
Dude,
exactly.
Dude, that was like, what, 30 minutes to an hour maybe between when it blew up?
It was not.
You're telling me they were headed to a spaceship and leaving the planet?
That was at least like almost a day later. They got captured. They went over to Forrest Whitaker's base.
It was no way.
And then they were interrogated quickly.
No, it was not a day.
And then they decided to blow it up. That was a while. They could have been on their way out for all you know.
We also got to see R2-D2 and C-3PO show up for a brief second, which makes sense as to why they were on Princess Leia's ship, which also you get to see her too.
Yeah, but that's the very end. But here's a fun fact: that guy's name, the walrus-looking guy, his name is Ponda Baba.
Ponda Baba.
So he's the one that gets his arm cut off in A New Hope.
What was the guy's name that we saw who's dead, but they CG'd him in?
General Tarkin.
That guy. So he's the actor in real life is dead, but they CG'd him in, and they actually had a lot of screen time with him, which is really kind of creepy, but yet awesome at the same time because it's like holy crap, this guy's dead, but yet it looks so real.
I think the most convincing CG face was Leia at the end until she opened her mouth, and then I was like, whoa.
From what I've heard, here's a
people don't like it though.
Story. I heard that he actually they look a lot better without 3D, and we both times watch in 3D.
Really? I thought maybe it's masking it because I heard a lot of complaints about it being so obvious it was CG, and maybe it was just the fact that it overtook me. I could see it the second time around, but first time around I was like maybe in shock because like, oh shit, that's really him. I didn't.
Well, here's the thing: I didn't recognize him. I didn't because I'm not. I didn't start off with 4, 5, and 6.
I'm a big fan. When I was at the Star Wars Celebration, I went to a panel all about him.
Yeah, see, for me, I didn't even know who the hell that was. And so, but I knew something was off.
He's a big actor. He's been in like a lot of the
for whatever reason,
horror movies.
I couldn't remember him. But when I saw it, I was like, something looks kind of off on this guy. But it convinced me enough that I thought it was a real guy. And then all of a sudden, Pedram tells me, yeah, that guy's dead. I'm like, what? And then I realized this guy's like CGI'd. Is not even the guy anymore. What the most surprising, CGI at this point, like I can understand that they can CGI, the person's face and movement, but like the voice kind of gets me. When they make it like new sentences and all that stuff. That sure you can get voice actors, but
here's a little Easter egg. Oh my god, I forgot the line. General the Tarkin says, "You may fire."
When ready. It sounded like it was pulled exactly.
It actually is pulled.
That sounds like the only voice bit that was actually was something he said.
Yeah, they pulled that from the other movie. You may fire when ready. Basically, they pulled that from A New Hope and put that in this movie, which is great. I love it.
Some people, Peter Cushing was a really good actor, so some people are like saying it's a little detriment to his acting. The way this was because the CG character can't act as well as he does. They did a lot of cuts to like over the shoulder shots just to hide the face, probably because it's less CG work and stuff like that. But I thought just the coolness factor of actually having him there, just like with Princess Leia at the end, it was worth it. I really liked it. It was a cool touch.
One thing I liked but I didn't like at the same time was the robot droid.
Really, I thought he was pretty cool.
What was his name?
K2SO.
Yeah. So
I thought they took a lot of cues from Knights of the Old Republic 2, or was it the first one?
I think it's the first one.
Where that had that evil droid, and his sense of humor is very, very morbid.
Well, here's the thing.
Some of that came in, but it was a little bit more lighthearted.
In most of Star Wars, from what I've seen so far, you don't really have any droids or stuff that, have that much personality that he had. He had a lot of personality, And it was great. I liked seeing it, but at the same time, it's like it felt like it was added in because they didn't want to put a character that was funny. So they're like, "Why don't we make a droid funny?"
Well, they always have
like
that.
R2-D2 and what's that robot?
That's why they had Jar Jar there.
I like that robot. It was the most real character in the whole movie.
Yeah, but like his level of sarcasm, and joke telling was like
he told it how it is.
Yeah, but the characters joking was actually great. I think it was because he added comedy into scenes that you're like, wait a minute, what? He just made a joke. All right, that's funny. keep it rolling.
No,
And
his comedy was fucking brilliant. I loved the robot's
but
comedy.
that's what they need.
It's just that it sucks that like you see it now, but you never see a robot like that ever in the future, or even in the past. This is the only time.
You're looking at 4, 5, and 6. They didn't want to put the robots weren't advanced enough. The only guy that was there was C-3PO, and he was just quirky, weird.
Yeah,
and they're not going to be like, oh, there's a funny, weird robot that has
that's
this
very
movement.
human.
Yeah, they didn't have.
I mean, this guy was on par with humans.
They don't have time for that.
His reaction speed,
in Force
his fighting
Awakens,
style.
In Force Awakens, they have droids, but the droids aren't really the main thing. It's all stormtroopers and stuff.
Yeah.
Still.
Exactly, which is kind of sad.
I was disappointed he didn't call anybody meatbags, though.
Yeah, it would have been funny if he did. Going back to weird Easter eggy type things, you also see at the end of the movie, you'll see a battle above the planet. I forgot the planet's name. Holy crap. Starts with an S.
Saturn.
Seraph?
I think, hold on.
I think it's planet Seraph.
Whatever, go on.
And there's a battle up there. So the rebels are fighting against
The Empire.
The Empire have 2 Star Destroyers, and they have a bunch of other ships. And the Empire also has this like kind of like a satellite station, and you see them fighting. And then you also see a X-wing pilot that has the call sign Red 5. He's a fat Asian guy, and
It was so
and he
bad.
dies.
You could tell he was like just there to die immediately because he looks so goofy in the helmet and the costume.
Yeah, and
Everybody else
pretty
looks so
much-
professional. Oh, I thought it was really cool. They had, I don't know, was it the same? It wasn't the same actors or anything.
yeah, they
was
did.
it?
They
was
pulled
the same actors.
They pulled the same
The
actors.
Gold Leader.
Yep.
Was it? It was Gold Leader and some of the
Red
somebody
Leader.
else- Red Leader.
Red Leader.
They
all
were
the same.
both the exact same leaders from the first one, which I thought that was a really cool touch.
What they did is they just pulled the video and they put them in there.
So
Is that what it is?
going back
they
to
did.
what you were saying though, the call sign X5 is actually
Red
Luke's.
5.
Or Red 5 is Luke's.
Yeah, basically
call
that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
So they got this guy to basically just die. He's like, Red 5 needs help. Red 5 is going, oh, Red 5 died. Like that, basically, so they could set up Luke
taking over that number.
taking over that number. So that number was still alive. They basically set that guy up to die. That's all they wanted. That was pretty cool. And also, there was more little things here and there. If you're listening in when they're walking around, I want to say the hangar base, they call for a character that's from Rebels, like a general, like a sergeant or something, and she's from Rebels. And then you see a ship from somebody in Rebels in the back. It's a lot of Rebels.
Here's a big kind of interesting thing. You can maybe call it an Easter egg or not, but we actually see Darth Vader's actual home. And ironically, it's on the same planet that Obi-Wan cuts off his arms and he almost
We
burns.
don't know that for a fact.
It's been said that it's actually the same
I didn't know if
planet.
it was Mustafar.
Yeah, it is.
But it didn't say it.
Yeah, it's Mustafar.
How
It's
do you
been-
know?
Because
How do
I
you
looked
know?
it up.
From
It's
where?
been confirmed that it's
From
Mustafar.
who?
From where?
From people that
people?
made the movie.
From what people?
The people I don't know what their
What
fucking
source?
names are, but
What's your source?
you listen. I can't reveal
You
my
didn't talk to them
sources.
yourself. What's your source?
I can't reveal my sources because a good journalist does not reveal.
You don't
their
have
sources.
any sources.
Listen,
Shut up.
listen. It is.
It does. It looks like Mustafar.
It is the
I'll be-
fucking
I'll
planet.
I'll
And
try
how do you know it's his home planet? It
Because
could just be where
the
he's stationed
guy-
at the time.
It could be. It could be.
Christ.
It could be. Listen. It could be. That's where he's. That's where he likes to do his meditation.
No,
But
that's his actual.
But I don't know.
Fucking
We don't
look
know.
it up.
I will look it up.
Look
I'm not,
it up.
I'm not
telling
arguing.
you.
I'm not arguing that. I'm not arguing that it's not Mustafar. I'm arguing how do you know? That's all I'm asking.
Because I looked it up.
Okay, then you looked it up. So you do get to see him in kind of weird back to tank. You get to see Darth
Well,
Vader
it's the
in
same-
a back to tank.
Yeah, and it's because he needs. Now we understand that he needs constant treatment, still past the surgery to heal.
I know. I thought that was interesting. We
It's
got
way past that point.
We all
I
got
think.
really excited
But
when
he
we
still
saw.
needs it. I mean, the damage.
Well, he
is
just
still
needs.
there.
He just needs it to stay.
We all got really excited when we saw a cloaked figure standing in front of a back to tank, and we couldn't see what was in the back to tank.
Oh yeah, I thought it was the Emperor at first.
Yeah, so we don't know what it was, but then it turned out it was Vader. And it was
Did you notice the
kinda
Royal
nice.
Guards
Yeah.
protecting him at his most vulnerable state, which is
Yeah.
basically when he has got no arms and legs and shit?
Mm.
Granted, he could still probably fuck anybody up just in the tank alone.
Yeah. Well, that's the Royal Guards are always hanging out with him anyway.
Not always, but I mean,
you don't see them like normal days, but you get to see them.
are they like super power? I've never like.
Royal
they
Guards
They're supposed to be force sensitive.
Yeah,
I don't
they're
know.
they're supposed to be force sensitive, basically like Jedi, they're like Jedi or Sith apprentices.
So you know that Asian guy that says I'm one of the force is with me, maybe
Oh,
like
like
on
those
his
guys.
level ish.
Yeah,
Because I've never seen them fight. I've never actually seen.
you're not going to see them fight. There's like Jedi temple guards and stuff like that, and they're like story book characters, and you never see anything.
Darth Vader was scary.
Darth Vader was.
Yeah.
Yeah, in this
He creeped me out.
you actually see Darth Vader as how he should be, and that's what I said. This movie, the one thing they did really well is show you the fear, and because I mean in the regular Star Wars it's very kind of like childish almost.
Oh
Because
no,
it's
you're
like-
thinking of not regular Star Wars. You're thinking of prequels.
No.
when they specifically made robots so they can be torn apart by Jedi's without having an R rating.
No, but even in the sequel, I mean,
But
even
this
in
one is
four-
actually
my-
tearing
my
apart
thing-
people.
my
No. In 4, 5, 6, right? It was
In
just,
4, there's actually
you got,
blood
like-
and the limb takes.
Yeah. But I'm talking like you still didn't have the horror of war. This was like a pretty powerful. This is like the
you're
shit
looking-
that goes
you're
down
looking at
in
something
war.
that was really interesting, and the character of Darth Vader. I'm going to go out a little bit behind it. So, one thing you notice in this movie that you don't notice in many of the other movies is the Empire is fucking strong. Like when the rebels are fighting those two Star Destroyers. Sorry, not Death Stars. 2 Star Destroyers. Yeah, they kicked the Star Destroyers' asses. But
Barely.
Barely. Yeah.
It's always been about taking advantage of their weaknesses, but they always lose a ton of men in the process.
But then at the end, you get freaking Darth Vader's giant star ship, basically
Jumps in and blocks off everybody.
and basically kicks everyone's ass. He comes in there and he's like blowing everyone's ass out of the water.
Oh, it was super scary.
Yeah.
I actually had a moment like, oh great. They're gonna make it, and just it was.
Well, we knew they were gonna make
Darth
it.
Vader.
My-
No,
my-
you didn't know.
But we didn't know everybody
My
was gonna make it.
absolute favorite scene in this entire film is the Darth Vader scene.
Wait, can I finish my thing before you go in there?
Yeah, go ahead.
So you see the Empire is scary, and that's a point that we didn't get to really see, and we do see him in the other movies, but not to this point.
Yeah, so
where
that's
they kick
something
their
I think
asses.
that's something I really like about this movie, and I thought about this too. Remember how I said that the main character really changes everybody's attitude? This movie really sets the tone for the Empire, for you to really have more respect for like the status of the Empire and the galaxy when you watch New Hope.
Yeah, you get to see how strong they are, and they're not just clumsy stormtroopers that miss every shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's another thing. Sorry, the stormtrooper. There's one scene where that Asian guy grabs a stormtrooper and he's like using him as a shield, and when he's actually his armor. You can see it like kind of deflecting some of the blasts a little bit. So I thought that was kind of cool because usually in like the original trilogy, you would see one blast, they go and fall.
yeah.
So I thought that was
you
kinda
could see that some of the stormtroopers could take some hits,
Yeah.
and you also saw a different breed of stormtrooper, and we'll jump into it with
And
Tommy.
this is another thing, Tommy. When you watch the original trilogy, you know how they all say Stormtrooper's a bad shot?
Yeah.
Remember the guy was walking across, the Force is with me, I won the Force, the Force is with me, and everybody was just missing. It just reminded me of the original trilogy and how everybody just had bad shot.
But anyway, go ahead about Darth Vader.
Fucking forgot. You guys went on such a tangent.
You're
forgot.
talking about Darth Vader.
Yeah, there was something I was going to point out too. One thing you notice big time is that they really care about how they look. I didn't realize this until... Okay, so there's a scene where... I forgot the goddamn guy's name. The main antagonist. The guy in all white. What's his name? Who claims the Death Star, right? Well, his first meeting with Darth Vader, which is our first introduction of him, he says, I made the best weapon for the Emperor and whatever. And he's like, yeah, a big catastrophe that's bringing us nothing but problems. So that immediately you realize, because in your head you would think, oh, he would be like, yeah, great, and you got another thing to blow up shit. But actually in his head he was thinking about all the drama that he now has to deal with and how it makes them look, because now they're getting attacked and shit's blowing up. Like, I never thought about that until that one scene. I was like, wow, for them to control all these people, at the end of the day, they have to have these people, because you know that some people believed in the Empire and then some people didn't, obviously. Because if not, everyone would revolt immediately against the Empire, and then you're going to have a whole nother problem. So I didn't realize they were almost like PRing the Empire with that. You know, like that's what he said.
You're talking about like when Vader said,
"Yeah, like the Death Star doesn't exist." You know, this didn't happen. It's a mining accident.
Yeah, it was
what?
a mining accident.
Like what are they like? The fucking government now?
They couldn't. They couldn't say, "Hey, we want to reveal it if we wanted to at this," because it's not revealed until they blow up Alderaan.
No, but I mean, but if you think about it,
the reason they said it was a mining accident and not like a big weapon is because they're like, okay, we don't want people to think we just killed a whole bunch of innocents.
Which is the amazing thing is that normally in the past, like if you look at 456, they kill people all the time, and nobody, you know,
governments do this.
Yeah, but people know the Empire is not exactly the fucking most glorious thing on the planet.
People know that about their governments too, and their governments do that here.
No, but that I mean, on that, if you gotta think in that era. Everyone saw the Jedi get killed all of a sudden. People disappearing.
No, not everybody saw it. Don't forget. People are forgetting about the Jedi. A lot of people are like, oh, remember Han Solo? It was like just a bunch of myths and nonsense. So not everybody knew about Jedi or seen Jedi or believed in Jedi lore. But don't forget how, was it Democracy Dies or Republic Dies?
For what?
This is how Democracy Dies, with thunderous applause.
Oh yeah, that's a movie. So one thing that's great is that's from the prequels.
Yeah. Padme
says it. But do you remember? Crap. In the fourth movie, one of the guys around the table, I don't know his name. General Tarkin's there. Darth Vader's there.
Yeah, that big table.
And then the guy says, "Nobody believes in your."
In your magic sorcery
and all that stuff.
Yeah.
They at that point still didn't like get Jediism and stuff like that either, but Jedi, Sith, but at the same time, it's been that much of a time between 3 and this movie. It's been a big while.
Yeah, well, I mean, Darth Vader is like what? When he dies, he's like what, 70, 80 years old?
I don't know how old he is. We don't know.
I don't think he's that old.
He's pretty old.
At the end of the prequels, Luke and Leia are born. So how old are they when A New Hope starts?
That's how Luke and Leia like 25. So I want to say he's like 50.
Yeah, he's probably 30.
Maximum 50.
Anakin was pretty young, but
unless people age differently, then we don't know. Like they're like, pupa.
Yeah, so I mean, you're telling me in 20 years everyone completely forgot about fucking.
Well, at the same time, the only place they would actually seen the Jedi like all the time would be Coruscant, where the Jedi Council is.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, and you didn't see him very often anywhere else, and people didn't believe in them because they never saw one. But anyway, moving on.
Which makes his damage. I mean, which makes Vader so amazing. I mean, like I said, my favorite part of this entire film was the scene where Darth Vader goes on board of the ship, and you got all those rebel pilots on top of in the ship in the hallway, and the hallway's doors are stuck, and his lightsaber turns on, and he just starts slaughtering, and they're just screaming for help. You don't. That was the most terrifying Darth Vader I've ever seen.
You never see Anakin do that in prequels. He's very emotional, and this one he looked very methodical. Like, I'm gonna kick your ass, but I'm coming slow. And he
was very slow.
Half the slowness is because of obviously the
it's
suit
age.
and the.
No, it's his age.
Well, age and the suit though. But the suit is heavy.
He was really strong, and you can tell him that he's like, I'm gonna kick your ass, and he came after everybody, cut people down. He grabbed guns out of people. He deflected a bullet with his hand.
Well, he did that in Empire Strikes Back. So
yeah,
I like that.
I mean, the horror though was the amazing part. Like, it just shows you like. Because everyone really loves Darth Vader, right? But people forget, like, he was a really terrifying fucking person. Like, but the way he was just slaughtering people, like, it looked like
he slaughtered people before.
I know he did, but like, you saw, people literally screaming for help, begging for someone to help them.
Well,
and
what I
nothing
love
would
is
save
only
them.
one person survived out of all that shit. Only one person out of all those people in that hallway, even the one stuck on the opposite side of the door, survived. That's crazy.
Yeah, he killed a lot of people.
No, everyone died. Anyway, that whole hallway, everyone died.
Just that one person got the message.
No, he
passed it through the door.
No, you don't understand.
He's talking about something else.
All the people in front of the door that was stuck died. Yes, he passed the message. The door opened. The guy got down the hallway through the door, but everybody that was on the other side of the door died.
Basically, he killed everybody up to the door.
The only person
because he closed. They pulled that lever, and then it shot the ship down. And which is the ship that Leia's on?
Well, no.
Yeah.
It's a Corellian
eventually, Darth Vader uses lightsaber to get through that door. So he immediately got through the door, and he was like coming down the hallway, and the guy barely got down the hallway to the next door to.
And then the guy pulled the lever.
But like
and
I'm saying, it's just that horror of that scene, and that's what this movie's really good at.
That's what Darth Vader was so scary for. People were like, "Oh shit, Darth Vader's here." But anyway, let me jump back into spoilers before you keep going. So, not spoilers, into some of the Easter eggs, because people like Easter eggs.
I love Easter eggs.
So, did you see Aunt Beru's blue milk?
Yes, I did.
In Jen Orso's house?
Yes, I did.
That was pretty cool. I mean, the blue milk is pretty cool. Aunt Beru makes that blue milk.
Uncle Owen? Aunt Beru?
And then the guys you get to see are, I think his name is Dr. Cornelius Evazan, and as I said before, Ponda Baba, which are the two guys you get to see on the planet before a Jedi, I guess, before Jin and Cassian get in some kind of battle. You get to see C-3PO and R2-D2, and they're back, and you see them as the rebels depart for Seraph. The lady that played Mon Mothma from the third movie, she comes back into this movie, and she has a bigger role, which is great. Mon Mothma and Organa also have a quick reference to their Jedi friend, Obi-Wan Kenobi, when he's leaving for Alderaan.
Yeah, and he also said, I'm going to trust it to somebody that I trust with my life or something like that, and he meant Leia.
Yeah, he meant Leia. He said she'll be great and is like a girl, so you assume it's his daughter. And so basically, I want to say the characters that you said earlier, you were talking about two characters that they used videos for, Gold Leader and Red Leader, which is Gold Leader is Dutch, and Red Leader, which is Dave, are actually from A New Hope. So you were right.
Yeah, from that ending battle scene.
That's really awesome. And
I just was looking for Biggs. I didn't see Biggs anywhere.
Biggs is nowhere.
Poor
Porkins
Biggs.
is gone either.
Biggs should have been in the Alliance at this time. I guess maybe not.
Porkins should have been there too. Porkins.
Yeah, Porkins.
Poor Porkins.
Cool.
So they didn't have too much creative freedom. That's what you're trying to say.
No, they didn't.
They had lots of creative freedom.
They did have a lot. I'm sorry, I meant to say they had a lot of creative freedom with a lot of things.
You never seen a Force-sensitive character that's not a Jedi in the main storyline. You've never seen a whole cast that can die in the main storyline. That's tons of creative freedom. This whole cast was expendable.
Well, they had to be. They weren't in the
They didn't have to be. They could have a whole. They could have a whole trilogy or something that they make on the side.
No, they had to die.
Oh my God! They did not have to die. You just say that now because you've seen it.
No, they had. To, let me tell you why they had to die. Because if they didn't die, where the fuck were they? This entire time, when they're fighting for the same cause that episode 4, 5, and 6 was.
That's
causing.
like saying.
So why were they? Where
that's
were
like
they?
saying these.
Now they all died, and
hold
the
on,
people we
hold on,
did
stop
see
talking.
eventually died.
Listen for a minute. Those strategic robots, the droids. Those are created for this.
You just call them stretchy dick robots?
Strategic robots.
Oh, strategic robots.
They were created for this. Where the hell have they been? The same story.
Exactly.
Everything that they showed in this
no.
that is not in A New Hope and everything. Where is that?
Well, the robots.
It's a big galaxy.
The robots.
They could be anywhere.
The robots could have gotten upgraded. That's one.
You mean
however,
downgraded?
What I agree with you is that the stormtroopers, like there was like black stormtroopers. I've never seen that before. Until episode, I think it was 8 or 7 that they showed a few, but I've never seen black.
I don't think they ever showed them.
Or were they always?
Those are pilots you're thinking about.
Weren't they called Shadow? No,
those Shadow Troopers are all extended universe.
Remember when it landed on the beach and then the door opened? It was all black stormtroopers.
Yeah, those guys are his Carrick's.
Yeah, they're not officially Shadow Troopers.
The Shadow Troopers are extended universe. You're in a different world, and there's a lot of stuff from this movie that actually came from extended universe.
Or paid tribute to it.
Yeah,
got the ideas from
like
it.
The Hammerhead ship.
Yeah, that was cool.
It's from Legends, and that they doesn't exist anymore. You also have another Easter egg that was really funny. Remember those two stormtroopers talking about T-15 ships?
Yeah, T-15s are finally outdated.
Yeah, finally outdated and obsolete. That's the ship that Luke was flying around.
Yeah.
In Tatooine, shooting things with through the run and through the.
And that was actually interesting because it gave you a pretty good interesting.
I might be crazy
into stormtroopers. Like, do they actually casually talk?
I might be crazy, but when we were on Jeddah, and a lot of people walking around, I could have sworn I saw Wampa.
You saw a big snow-looking creature. It's not a Wampa.
It was a Wampa?
No, it's not.
It
Wampa.
looked just like a Wampa.
But a Wampa carrying a backpack.
It was really furry, and it had those horns on the side. It looked just like a Wampa.
It didn't have the horns, but it had big teeth.
Speaking
But
of,
it was carrying a backpack. It did have a backpack.
Speaking of stormtroopers, one thing I didn't like was the fact that stormtroopers seem to be taken out pretty easily. And, the only way they seem to win is by outnumbering.
No, I totally disagree with that. It seemed like they could take a lot more hits in this. Like I said, you could actually see their armor.
I'm not talking about them taking hits.
You could actually see them deflect their armor deflecting shots.
You're talking about like conscription, because these guys are bred to. Well, I don't know what they are anymore. I thought they were clone troopers because of the.
Well, no, at this
like,
part, maybe there's a few
you
left.
Remember episode? Okay,
yeah.
You remember in episode 7? They're fighting the stormtroopers, and all of a sudden one of them like whips out like a fucking blade and shit and starts like attacking.
Yeah,
back.
but that's first order level. You're talking about first order.
Like,
Those guys are actually
guys,
board battlers now.
Yeah, these guys like they're just like standing like, oh no, like
yeah, but you're talking about a big, massive scale of troops.
Like for example, the blind guy hits one of the stormtroopers in the face with a stick, and he just
has
falls
the
over.
Force on his side.
Wait, no,
you gotta remember
feels
those stormtroopers like Deadeye is like killing everybody.
No,
and as soon as this guy starts walking out in the middle of nowhere, everybody misses.
He didn't kill the guy. He may have knocked him out. Anyway,
yeah, but he had a helmet on.
We got
how flimsy is
You didn't hear that
helmets?
glass shatter? He hit him so hard, like when the lenses shattered. There was like a shattering glass sound effect when he hit him.
Even if it did, he still has a helmet.
Your suspensive.
Go put on a bike helmet.
Bad.
No, put on a bike helmet. I'm gonna hit you in the head with a bar, and I promise you're not gonna knock out.
Listen, he maybe he knocked him out, or maybe he killed him. You don't know. Maybe maybe it went through and then got a cause of concussion. You don't know what the helmet's like. You don't make the helmets.
Yeah, but it's futuristic. Everything's made out of freaking metal or some weird shit.
But you don't know.
What, made out of tin foil?
It could be made out of plastic.
Like, come on. You're telling me that their army, the thing that they use to protect...
they have a lot of guys. They got to be cheap. So you're asking about a lot of craziness. You're making... you have to like take it for what it is. If you think the guys
if you can make a starship that big...
But if you're going to do that with this movie, what are you going to believe?
What do you mean, what am I going to believe?
You believe that Pinocchio really came to life? You're not going to believe Pinocchio
This has
came to life?
nothing to do with that.
I'm just talking
It's
about...
very similar. It's all about you suspending your disbelief to be able to buy into what the universe is saying. Right now you're saying, oh, this character having this mystical force around him and being able to do things with these stormtroopers and they just go down really quick is unrealistic.
No.
Or how about Deadpool? Deadpool has a power.
Let me explain. Let me explain myself. No, shut up. Let me explain myself. Okay, the guy who's blind, who can use the Force, okay? He was dodging the shots. He could sense what people were, and he was fighting. But he wasn't using the Force at any moment to attack. He was always using the Force to deflect.
That's total lie. They always use the Force to attack.
Who?
He uses the Force for everything. How the hell does he see where they are?
That's what I'm saying. He only used it for gauging. He never used it for
attack and defense.
No. When did he put force push anybody? Never.
Because he's not a Jedi.
Duh. That's what I'm trying to point out. His only attack was him either physically kicking and punching or hitting them with a stick. So my thing was how did he damage
you need to take a
stormtrooper's armor?
Because there's a way you can take down somebody stronger than you.
Listen.
He hit him in the head with a stick, man.
Okay, don't believe everything. If you don't believe it, don't believe it. I'm tired of talking about this.
If Ewoks can take down stormtroopers with rocks.
I'm expressing the things in my mind. Well, that wraps up this week's confession. Join us next week for more discussions and opinions on things that pique our interest. If you have any confessions you would like to discuss, feel free to send it our way. As always, we want to thank all of our listeners and followers for tuning in and supporting us. Share us, like us, review us, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Whatever you want to do, every bit helps us grow. And don't forget, you can find our previous episodes and bonus content on our website, nerdconfessions.net. This is Nerd Confessions, signing off.
Bye, everybody. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, Merry
Happy
Christmas.
holidays.
Have a great day. Living life.
A New Year.
And David Jaffe.
Logging out of Nerd Confessions. Connections terminated. Transmission over.